about a specific topic, not realizing that most people listening will fail to understand it. That's a geek out. This is the show, the Geek Out Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Gil. I'm the main host of the Geek Out Show, and we're a weekly podcast that cover a different array of geeky topics. We cover everything from comics, manga, collectible, TV, movies, gaming, and a bunch of other things. Hopefully one of these interested you and you subscribe to our feed. Till next time, make sure to stay geeked up and geek out.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I'm your co-host, Juwaan, and joining with me, as always, is Joel. What's up, Joel?
What is up?
We got a bunch to unpack, man. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
So I want to start off with, I just saw from our guy, completely blanking on his name. I don't know why. Hold on, give me a second.
He's our guy, just remember that.
Eric Davis.
Okay.
Eric Davis has just said that obviously a lot of people are raving about Thor Love and Thunder, the few people that got to actually check it out. And obviously the embargo lifts towards the end of this month when they do the red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing that this movie is good, does that shock you at all, Joel? Is this kind of just more so to be expected with these Marvel things?
I don't remember the last time we heard a bad thing coming out of one of the screenings.
Maybe Eternals, I feel like, maybe.
Even then, I didn't feel like it was.
It wasn't. Oh, yes. Okay. Now I give you that. I give you that.
No.
Yeah, definitely afterwards. Yeah, to me, I just kind of feel like it's more so just, par for the course, I wasn't really expecting anything else. And besides, I thought it looked good from the trailer. So I'd be very shocked.
It does.
Yeah, I'd be very shocked if Eric Davis was like, no, the few people that saw it said it was the worst thing ever. Like, what? How?
Straight trash.
It's funny because Thor is probably the only MCU franchise that you can just compare to other Thor movies, right? Like, you don't have to say, like, oh, it's better than this or that. Like, you hold it up to its own set films, right? So like we go, all right, is it better than Ragnarok, which is the best out of the three, or is it worse than Dark World, which is the worst out of the three, right? That's really all you have to gauge it. You don't have to put it up against anything else MCU. Just put it up against itself. It's had literally the worst and one of the best movies in the MCU. So you can definitely just hold it up to itself. So I'm not really shocked, at all. Like I said, like you said, sorry. We haven't really heard much about MCU movies being like horrible or bad or anything like that, really.
You rarely hear, yeah. If you do, you'll probably hear ahead of time. But it's almost like you'll never hear anything really bad until afterward.
Yeah. I feel as though the people that they let screen are people that, I'm not saying in their pocket. I don't want to put the wrong idea out there.
If they give it a
yes,
shit,
they won't be back. Right, they won't be back. So it's essentially in their pockets. Like Joel's saying, the real, not real truth, but if someone really didn't like it, when you'll actually hear it is definitely when the movie comes out.
It's all how you talk about it too. It's like how you phrase it.
Right.
How was it? It was all right.
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's different ways to get across your point of whether or not something is good or bad. You don't have to just come out and be like, it's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
Right.
You can just be like, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, some people are just excessive about it. They're just really like, oh, it was so much trash. There's levels to it. It was great. It was trash. It was meh. I hate meh. That's like the worst fucking word ever. I'd rather be trash, honestly.
To me, I can accept meh if you're saying meh because you can't formulate whether or not you liked it or didn't like it.
It didn't evoke emotion, so fuck it.
It was meh. Like meh, because to me it's like, because to me there's nothing worse than saying how much you hated something and then I ask you why and you can't really tell me.
That's the thing. Most people that say something about like it's trash, they only hate one thing. And that's it. They're like, I hated it. Why? Because of the one thing. And that's it. You know what I mean?
I hated the one time the guy said hello. And it's like, what? That ruined the whole movie for you? Yeah, the whole experience.
The whole
Couldn't
thing.
do it.
When it's meh, like you watch the whole movie and it didn't generate really like.
I have seen some movies though that were meh.
Yeah, like, those are usually movies that I probably didn't like that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it is also one of those. Only reason I'm saying that is because probably if you asked me what I didn't like about it, I cared so little about that movie. I don't even remember what I didn't like. So I say meh because I don't want to fully come out and be like, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't remember it enough to say that.
All right, it's not excessive though. So.
Yeah, I don't remember it enough to say
worst thing I've ever seen.
And also, people have a short attention span when it comes to that term, because they'll say it's the worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm like, I still have yet to see a superhero movie I think is worse than Ang Lee's Hulk. I still have yet to see it. I've yet to see it.
What?
I've yet to see it. Anything that's come out since then. I'm not talking about before then.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember anything before then.
There's been some really
since that movie's come out, I have not seen a movie that I've hated more than I've hated that movie.
Hate is a strong word. I wouldn't call it.
Joel, he jumped from fucking New Mexico to San Francisco in like 3 leaps. I hate that movie.
I don't mind. Leaping wasn't the issue. My problem with that movie was him going from 9 feet to 15 feet tall. That bothers the fuck out of me, bro. How much taller can he get? Like, why is he getting taller?
The tent on his green, I didn't like. I didn't like the CGI when he threw the sofa out of the way. There was just a lot about that movie that just rubbed me the wrong way.
I like the desert scene. That's why I don't mind the whole leaping thing. But like, bro, like him getting taller and taller instead of getting stronger and stronger. I think you missed the point.
Hulk gets taller, angry.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Why is he getting taller? That's insane.
No, but I sometimes, like I said, I sometimes think when people do reviews, it's emotion based, right? So like you haven't really given yourself time to kind of process it. You like, I'll say this, because I remember when we left the Batman, I said it was the greatest thing I've ever seen ever, right?
Yes.
But I've been very consistent since then that it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. So to me, it's like, if you're consistent with it, I'll respect it. So if you come out and you go, I thought this movie was bad. And I'm like, but you just left it. Do you maybe want to see it again? Or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like maybe were they talking too loud? You didn't really hear some things. But if you like, okay, cool. And you see it again and you still think that, I can respect it. But it's when it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, you don't want to maybe let it sit for a little bit? Because to me, I kind of feel like it's easier to jump to hate than it is loving something.
It's so much easier.
So I'm like, if someone left Shang-Chi and it's like, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life, I wouldn't go, what? You sure you don't want to see it again? I would go, okay, I can respect that because that's a lot of love, right? But it's when you hate it that I'm like, do you maybe want to sit through it? Because like there are more worse movies than this. So to jump right to the worst thing I've ever seen. Have you not seen many things? Like there are a lot of bad things out there. I'm just curious.
Oh no, I get it. I had a friend that watched the Batman and said, "Oh, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen." That is not how you describe that.
That's not how you describe it. And again, let me say this, Joel. We may be coming off biased because of how much we did love that movie, but to be fair, we are objective when things are bad. Me, usually, I'm more open about when I really hate things. Well, if things are bad, we are objective enough to go, all right, well, it was bad. But the Batman, I can understand you saying you don't think it's as great as maybe I do.
That's different.
But for it to be bad, I just don't know what you watch. Like, did I miss something?
Absolutely. I don't understand some people's vision, purposes, or points, but and I think I never will. but certain people just have their own opinion and they live in their bubble, and I'm cool with that. Live within your bubble, be happy. Just if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. That's the words I live by. So if you're gonna continue talking shit and that people like it, then you're doing it on purpose.
Now, I will say this. Before we get into our main topics, I will say the one thing, Joel, that bothers me the most is, to me, I'd rather someone have no opinion than to regurgitate someone else's opinion. So what I mean by that is, right. So what I mean by that is, I don't ever want to hear, well, I'm not the only one. I was watching this podcast and that podcast, and they didn't. I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. I'm here with you. I want to know what you think. Did you like it? Don't base it off of what you heard someone else say or the details that they say this stood out. I just want to know what you thought. That is the number one thing that gets me uninterested in anything someone is saying mid-conversation. So if I'm like, yeah, so what'd you think about the draft? Well, I did like when Stephen A. Smith said, well, no. Did you watch it? No, I didn't watch it. Then that's all you needed to start with. Let's move on. Like, I want to know how you feel. I don't need to know what someone else is just pushing through your lips. You know what I'm saying? Or else next time I'll just invite them on. I won't even call you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the number one thing that bothers me. I don't like anyone's opinion that's based off of someone else's opinion or the ideology of, well, I know many people that didn't like it. Well, okay, is that the 3 people that you associate yourself with? Because there's over 1 billion people on Earth. And I can tell you, the money that it made said it was a good movie. That's really all I can tell you. Yeah. That's really it. But all right, let's move on. I want to start off with The Boys. Okay. You saw the first 3 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This show, can I just say this? This show, it constantly finds ways to outdo itself, because I remember saying, there's no way that it could top the insaneness that I saw in season 2. Like, not the insaneness of like violence, but just the pure, like, what the hell am I watching? And I love how The Boys right off the bat said, oh, no, we heard you. But what if I had a little person jump in someone's pee-pee hole and then sneeze and completely explode his body from the inside? And I said, well played, boys. Well played. I thought you couldn't get any weirder, any stranger, any kookier, and you have someone turn small and jump to a pee-pee hole. Now, what I thought was funniest about that, Joel, is we for years have been hearing people talk about Ant-Man jumping in Thanos' butt. Right. No one ever thought of jumping to his pee-pee hole. So I was like, that was a really cool remix that they did there. Like, why the butthole? Why not the pee-pee hole? And it's like, yeah, it's very unprotected. So I'm like, it's susceptible. It's susceptible. But all jokes aside, Joel, what were your thoughts on The Boys season 3 and how they started this season?
How do you not control that? Like, I don't understand. Like, that is so dangerous. Jesus, man.
I'm like, bro, if you know you're sneezing, don't jump inside of me. Are you serious? Like,
just snorted like 8 pounds of coke. You think you're not gonna sneeze?
Yeah, like, come on, man. What are you doing? Like, what? But what were your thoughts?
All 3 or just that scene? Because that
no. Well, talk about that scene, because I started with that, and then give me your thoughts on the 3 episodes.
Well, the scene was unexpected, but the show is fucking insane. It shows the balls of the walls insane, and that's how it started. that's how the show started. So,
yes. Yep.
Okay, we're going there. Where don't we go at this point with this show? They do not hold back. That's the one thing, you don't got to worry about it. It's not going to hold itself back. It's going to go where it needs to go. Jesus. And I'll say, like, it's so far been a hell of a ride, and it's only been 3 episodes. It's like, and it left us with like cliffhanger, like, oh man, what a dick, what a super dick. That's what he is. Super. And it is a scary thought. Like, if think about it, like, God, like, he's basically Superman. It's like, imagine if Superman was just total asshole, and not even asshole, just a total dick.
Yep.
And like, we'd be fucked. We really would. But they're doing the right thing. She has to play ball,
right,
for now,
right,
until they can get in. Because like it's just right now he's ridiculously, he's just too powerful to be fucking with. And the fact, I love how they played it off where he kind of finally, he's very vain and starts speaking about himself.
mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm better than you. And then there's literally a part of the world like, yeah, you are.
Joel's like, whoa, no, you're not supposed to agree with him. Like,
people. Betas, that's what they are. It's terrible. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I love the whole their version of the Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like,
yes, yep.
That's also in the beginning. That was pretty funny, like very similar. I thought that was cool. We got to see Black Noir without a mask. That was cool.
We did, and it looks like it was a whole different actor from the actor we know played him in season 1 and 2.
I remember seeing his face. I can't tell you.
No. I mean, remember Tia interviewed the guy that was playing Black Noir.
Oh, the guy under the mask.
Yeah, under the mask.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, probably got a more on-screen actor. Even though it wasn't very much.
Not at all. They were just like, hey.
This is why it doesn't.
But what I love most about that scene is how he's like, you should wear your mask. And he's just like, I don't want to wear the mask. And it's just like, all right, bet. As soon as he takes that thing off, half his face
gone.
And it's just like, that mask might have helped a little bit of that blow.
Maybe. Oh man.
It would have helped a little bit. I mean, look, we've seen Batman in explosions that are like right here. That cowl helps. And that's not even like a full mask. The cowl helps.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it would have been useful, but yeah. At the end of the day, maybe not completely useful, but it probably would have been all burnt and shit. You know what I mean?
Not at all. And I want to ask you this, because I might have missed it. Did they explain why he doesn't talk? Like, did it damage his vocal cords?
Don't remember.
Or is it a choice?
He did get fucked up, so maybe it did mess up his vocal cords. But I didn't hear anything. So
right, because we know he's not mute. That's one thing we do know. The man could talk at a certain point, but it looks like he swore off talking, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, because I'm like, that would have been the perfect time to explain that, because I'm like, he don't talk. And I just watched him talk. Why don't he talk now? So yeah, I would definitely like to see more of that, because I'm definitely confused.
Yes. So I'm very curious. I don't know what happened to the rest of that team, but yeah, we know that we will be getting Soldier Boy in modern day. So I wonder how that's gonna play out.
Right.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because his fucking and I love figuring out like what characters are based off of who, and so you're like this one, the one that with the guns.
Yeah, essentially his Robin. Yeah, essentially his Robin.
Well, it's Winter Soldier. Like that's.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's spot on. Yes. Yep.
That's his Bucky, but he's based off of, in the comic books at least, Judge Dredd.
Okay.
He obviously looks a little different in the show, but that's what that character originally was based off. But yeah, they basically made him his Bucky and shit, so that was interesting. But I always love looking for that. Like, all right, so who are you supposed to be? Like that. All right. But yeah, that show's really fun. So I can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem I always have when they give you that, they're essentially giving you the drug test, where it's just like, yo, I'm gonna give you a little sprinkle of this for free, because I know you'll be back the next day willing to pay whatever it costs for it, right? So it's like, all right, here's 3 episodes, and we're just like, don't give me 3 episodes and the third leaves me on a cliffhanger. Like, that's what annoys me. Because now I'm just like, well, I want episode 4. I had to go back and rewatch the whole series from the beginning. Because I'm like, I just need more of the boys. I need more. What are you doing to me? But no, I love this a lot. And I'm really excited that, not excited more say, but I'm glad, I'll say, that they kind of exposed the woman that Huey was Huey that Huey was working with, because I'm like, I was wondering how long it was going to take them to kind of just expose that, because we saw how last season ended, where she killed the guy of the Church of the Collective. So I'm like, when are they going to answer this? And they got right into it. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Because that would have really bothered me. You just stringing that along, and we know the boys' seasons usually aren't that many episodes.
Right.
So I'm like, in these first 3, you should definitely get to it, and they did. I'm just really curious because now I have a feeling, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I have a feeling that Homelander is going to get to a point to where he has nothing left, and because his son now wants nothing to do with Butcher. I feel as though he's going to go to his dad. That's the only person he feels like he has left. His mom's gone. And Butcher was the only thing he thought he had. And I think it's going to drive him to his dad. And God, can you imagine both of them?
I know.
Father and son assholes? Like what? I can't be both of y'all.
Can't have that kid with that guy.
Can't have both. Yeah. The laws of physics say there can't be 2 of you. One of y'all got to die or something.
2 assholes.
But yeah, I really like what they've done with these episodes. And can I say it really was jarring seeing Mother's Milk like kind of spiral, because I kind of felt like that was weird, because season 2 gave me no indication that was like a thing for him. He kind of kept seeming like he wanted to get out of it. And then it's like, well, now you're out of it, and now you're jonesing to get back into it. I thought there was like something missing in that storyline there. Like that was a little jarring. Did you feel that at all?
Well, I didn't really feel that, but I know what you're saying, because to me it started weird, where I didn't realize it was that bad, that he was divorced, or at least separated now from his wife, and they were living separately. I didn't know it was gonna go that far, and then now it's like he literally within 3 episodes he's like, I don't want to do anything, and then he's like, I went back into it. So it's like right, he fought right against it in the same episode. It's like, all right, I mean, maybe there's a part of him that's like, hey, I need to get this off my chest. They did kill my family. It's like, I'm not against that. So that's the case. Cool. I don't mind seeing that play out.
Yeah, it's definitely just like I said, it was just one of those things where it's just like it felt like something was missing, that like I missed something. Because you spent all of season 2 of him just wanting to get home, him wanting to get out of this. It was too much. And now you've kind of panned a year later, and now it just seems like he's jonesing to get back in. And that was all that. Again, it's not anything bad or anything like that took me out of it. It was just like, I felt like I was missing something. So I'm like, I can't wait to talk to Joel, because maybe I did miss something. I'm like, I watched it twice, but I was doing something while I was watching it. So maybe I did miss something. So I'm like, let me just ask Joel. But yeah, I'm very happy for it. And we were asked if we were going to do a weekly The Boys breakdown. But unfortunately it comes out on a day that people are usually busy. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to kind of corral everybody for that. So
when is it? I forget.
Fridays. It's Fridays. Oh wait, does it come out on Thursdays?
It came out last week, but that's because it does that now. Just like Amazon will drop the Friday.
Yeah, they dropped it early. Yeah, they dropped it early.
9:00 on Thursday.
Right. So because if it's a Thursday release, I'll find a way to make Thursdays work. But if it's a Friday release, I definitely can't do that. So they'll just have to listen to us break it down, Joel. Because yeah, I'm not trying to.
If that's the case, then it won't be more elaborate. I just haven't, I haven't thought about it. I mean, I'll give you my bare minimum at this point.
I mean, there's not really. It's not a need for like an in-depth breakdown. And also The Boys is something I don't think either one of us have ever read The Boys comics. So it's not like we have like, oh, and this Easter egg and like we don't know. We're watching it like everybody else, so we can kind of inform you on what we see. But we don't have an extensive knowledge about The Boys enough to like do a frame for frame breakdown and this little nugget happened. I don't know. So what we gave is really all we can do. And if we did a live show during the week, that's really all we would give. That's it. I don't know anything. And that's another thing people need to start doing more. If you don't know something, it's okay to say you don't know something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it. I don't know it. No need to fake the funk. It's not my thing. I don't really know about it. Never have. Don't know.
It's really that simple. You don't know, you don't know. You don't have to know. It's okay to not know things.
Right. Look, people, I know I've said that a million times, but when I first met Joel, I had questions for Joel for days. I'm like, I don't know this. I don't know that. And Joel's like, how do you have your own geek company and you know nothing? I'm like, look, man, ask me Batman. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Everything else is maybe I know. Maybe. But Joel did motivate me to, dig into some of those books and whatnot. I didn't physically dig into the books, but I definitely did my homework on certain things. That's for sure. All right, let's move forward. Because I know me and you like to do this for our show, but tell me about your thoughts on the episode 3 of Kenobi.
Good. It was very good. It's very good. It was cool. I really enjoyed. I enjoy the show a lot so far, and the whole I told you last week, the whole old man version of a character is always interesting to me. To come out of retirement and have strap them boots again and figure things out all over again. And he is definitely feeling it now because the man hasn't used the Force in years, and he finally used it on Dayu, and like he was barely a match for Vader. He's going in front of him. He's like, "Oh my God, what have I walked into?" First of all, I didn't know you were alive. Second of all, what the fuck are you? What have you become? Is a great question.
That's the best question you could have. I mean, shit, that was essentially Steve Rogers' question when he saw Bucky for the first time. Like, what are you? Yeah. What you made me. You gotta stop saying that. I didn't do anything. You fell. Like,
get that arm. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like you fell with 2 arms. That's all I remember.
And they got more upgrades than Bucky did. He got a whole full respirator on that bitch.
Yeah, Bucky was just like, wait a minute, hold on. They do the full body? Shit, they only told me they could do my arm. I didn't know you could do the full body. Shit, I would have got a suit. Yeah, that's not fair. But no, I mean, I think the most interesting thing for me coming out of that episode was obviously the mention of Quinlan Vos. That was cool. Massive.
That was very cool.
Especially if what a lot of people are assuming, O'Shea Jackson might be playing Quinlan Vos.
Cool.
That would be really, really, really cool.
I haven't shown him yet, so it's very much.
And I would say this: if he is Quinlan Vos and Quinlan Vos does survive this show, I'm not against a spinoff. Quinlan Vos has a really rich story, especially for us to get some background on his loss of interest, a lot of what he was doing. Because remember, during Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Filoni only had him in 1 or 2 episodes out of that whole 7-year run.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you didn't really see much. And the coolest thing about Quinlan Vos that I love is his lightsaber design and his hoverboard. I fucking love his hoverboard. Like, he's just such a dope ass Jedi, bro. So I'm like,
looking, and he's one of the cooler looking Jedi for sure.
100%, 100%. And I said this last Wednesday, but I'll say it again. A fun fact: Quinlan Vos was actually in Phantom Menace. Very weird. Yeah, very weird.
How old is he? Does he like his race age slowly or something? Because
I don't know if that was a miscue on George's part. I definitely got to look more into that. So I'm not gonna make up anything or lie, but it was a scene where that bug creature was harassing Jar Jar Binks, and right behind them was Quinlan Vos just sitting at a table. And I'm just like, huh? Why? Like,
it's probably one of those things where like we didn't have plans for him at the time, but then we're like, well, he looks pretty cool. Let's put him in here and there. And like, whatever. It's just some people are not even gonna notice it. Like,
right. And it's very much you had to like freeze frame it to even see it. So it's not one of those. It was meant for you to necessarily like stand out.
Well, that's another thing. Because he's not human or whatever.
Right.
Is that what they look like with the yellow thing on their thing? Like, I don't even know what.
That's a tribal thing. Yeah, that's more so of a tribal thing.
I don't know what they look like.
For his people, that's more of a. You don't really see much of his people, if any, really. But I'll check back with AJ because I know he read that comic where Ventress died. So he would know where they went into Quinlan Vos's story a little bit more. So AJ would definitely know better than me. But I just toss up Quinlan Vos being in Phantom Menace the same way that I toss away the Illuminati being in Stark's phone during Iron Man 2.
Oh yeah,
to where clearly that wasn't meant to be like breadcrumbs. That was more so of like a fun little nugget, you know, that they didn't know if that was, you know, they didn't know what almost 10 years after the fact they'd be in a position where they could do the Illuminati. So that was definitely more so of just like a
They're
fun.
definitely in a place now where they never thought they'd be at that time. Like,
right, 100%. So I don't think that was. I think Kevin, if you wanted to, can make it a breadcrumb, but it definitely at the time wasn't meant to be a breadcrumb at all.
Yeah,
at all.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Doctor Strange creating the Illuminati than I am Stark being.
Especially at this point.
Yeah, because it's like he knew about it, so he'd be like, "That's a really good idea. Let me find some of the same similar people, but in my universe, and put together the Illuminati. It makes sense."
This from my world.
It's like, is there a Black Bolt here? I'm curious. Is there a Mr. Fantastic?
He's going to be spending the rest of his time like, looking for people that are this from my world.
I just see him leaving Clea. She's like, "Where are you going? We have incursions to fix." He's like, "I'm looking for a Black Bolt. I'm looking for a Captain Marvel. I'm looking for my Illuminati. I got other shit to worry about."
He knows Captain Marvel.
Oh, I keep forgetting they did fight together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also excited that Doctor Strange is going to be coming out on Disney Plus in a few weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. 20
Yep. Yep. So I can't wait to rewatch it. And kind of just break it down. Seeing it in a not theater setting, I think is always.
I want to. Well, I'm gonna watch it again, but I really want. I've seen it twice, and so like I'm still going through my MCU marathon. So when I get to it, I'll watch it.
I was doing a marathon of Star Wars the other day. So I like that you're doing your Marvel marathon, because like I think that's underrated, where people just do a marathon and just refresh yourself. Like I said, when you refresh yourself just in the MCU, it brings a lot of perspective for movies people think are horrible or the worst things ever. Watch the MCU from the beginning and come all the way up to now, and that'll give you a very clear concept.
You appreciate them a lot more now. You're like, whoa, where were we then to now? I mean, not that they were bad. It's just time is so different now than it was.
It's just different. It's just different. It's just different.
They're filmed differently. The tone is different. It's different. It's the best
for sure. The Kenobi writer, Joby Harold, says Darth Vader's village brutality was a lot more extreme at one point during development of this series. I can only imagine how more brutal it was. He snapped a child's neck. Not a child, but you know what I'm saying. Snapped somebody's neck. I'm like, well, how much more brutal did he get? He snapped someone's neck, dragged someone in the sand, pulled someone out of a window. He was pretty brutal. So I don't feel like I missed out on anything. Like, unless he like just ripped someone's heart out and then screamed Kali Ma, I don't think I'm really missing anything.
He made his point.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't need any more brutality than what I got. That was pretty straightforward. I understood it. And I am a fan of that. Sometimes it's just overkill, right? Where it's just like, all right, we're gonna have Vader just walk through the village, cutting heads off. It's like, all right, what he did, it got the point across. It got the point across. I didn't need any more than that. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about Netflix Geeked Week. We got a trailer for Sandman.
Sure did.
I don't know what to think of this series. And I don't mean that like, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I mean, I don't fucking know anything about anything I saw. I know I saw Constantine.
Well, you saw their version of Constantine.
Yes, their version of Constantine and their version of Lucifer. Obviously not in the trailer, but we know that Lucifer. Yeah, we know Lucifer is in it. That's all I know. That's it. I don't know anything else, anyone else. I know those two. That's it.
Those characters were used outside of Sandman. They're their own characters. They've had their own series. Though this version of Constantine is changed completely.
Right.
It's a woman. She goes by Joanna. They pronounce her name Constantine.
Constantine, yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely more. She's a brunette. Doesn't seem like she smokes, and she definitely is definitely more clean cut than the John I know.
And it looks like she's a little less assholey.
Oh, maybe we'll see. She might be uppity, pricky. Who knows? We'll see.
Uppity and pricky, definitely is a spin on Constantine's just pure assholeness, and not saying that in a bad way. It's kind of like a badge of honor for him. Like if you called Constantine an asshole, he wouldn't get upset. He would go, "Well, thank you, I appreciate that."
It really is.
Right, but what were your thoughts on this trailer, Joel? You know a little bit more about Sandman than I do. So did you pick up on anything seeing this trailer?
I didn't read a lot of Sandman. I know the bare minimum.
That's more than me. Juwaan, what do you know about Sandman? His name's Sandman. That's about it. That's Sandman. It. Yeah, that's it.
Actually, it's called Sandman, but that's just a nickname, and that's not even a name he uses. He goes by Morpheus or by Dream.
Or by Gara. Does he go by Gara?
No,
he doesn't go by Gara.
Why Gara?
Don't they do the same thing? Don't they both have sand powers?
No, dream powers. They're dream.
Wasn't he blowing sand?
Yeah, he could. Yeah, but that's just it's not like he could control sand like from the ground.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Not a sand bender.
I thought he was a sand bender. I don't know. He was blowing sand. I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. I'm like, I can't wait to see how that works.
It's just his dream. It's just all it. They're like they're deities. There's seven. They're called the Endless, right? And there's seven of them. There's Dream, Destiny, Destruction, Despair, Desire, Delusion. I feel like I'm missing it.
Joel's like, something's missing here.
I didn't count, so that's why I was like, Oh. And Death. No, I was missing one. So yeah, those seven. In the trailer, we only saw like three of them. So,
but what's the feeling you got out of the trailer though?
Trailer looked great. I mean, it looks fucking beautiful. So, I really can't wait to see how they pull it off. Because again, there's a lot of those characters I don't know. So a lot of this is gonna be new for me. And I'm going to take it that way. I'm going to take a look. They changed Constantine and Lucifer mainly because the Constantine and Lucifer, we know, we already had those versions. Right. So it's going to be their versions of it, right? They can't use, in my opinion, the reason they're not using John is because John is going to be used in Justice League Dark. You know
yeah, so the Dark Universe.
They don't want to double dip, and Netflix is like, I don't want to have any issues. DC's doing their thing with John. We're gonna bring in Joanne, who was an actual character in the comic book.
Really?
But she's a descendant. She's like
of Constantine's.
Right.
Gotcha.
So like so Joanna was like during like the Western times, 1800s, and then he's a descendant of hers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you were saying the other way around. Okay, gotcha. I like that. I like that she came first and he came after. I like that a lot. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, she's from like back in the day.
So wait, could they tie that in, or is it?
She seems to be modern day though, so I don't know.
Oh, gotcha.
They make them like siblings or something.
Gotcha.
Which I don't know if they'll do that, but and obviously Lucifer is the Lucifer we know, but for them now it's going to be played by a woman now. At least she'll be blonde.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie's playing Lucifer, and so he's blonde in the comic books now. He'll be blonde again, except he'll be a woman, which is fine. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're about to get a Constantine that's black, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once we get Constantine back,
times are changing.
White,
yeah, times are changing for sure. So
John's gonna be a black Constantine when we get him. So, it is. Both characters have been gender bent for the series, which is fine. We'll see how that plays out, but I'm more keeping my focus on the Endless and seeing how they portray that family, because like Dream is just one aspect. There's a whole bunch. Like again, there's 7 of them, so I want to see what they look like, who shows up in the first season, and what other characters that from the comics that I don't know very well.
Now
I'll get to know.
As far as you're concerned, this is supposed to be multiple seasons, right? Not just a one and done.
If it's good, I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay. Because I never know with Netflix, so that's the only reason why I was asking. Not to be funny or anything. I really just when it comes to them, I really have no idea They'll tell you one moment, yeah, this is one of the best numbers we've ever had, and then it's just like, nah, we canned it. What? Mm-hmm. Like, why? It was good. We loved it. Mm-hmm. So that's my biggest problem. All right, so let's move on. Well, let me say this before we move on. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing that I'm looking forward to the most out of this show, is just to get a better understanding on their version of Sandman. I don't want to have to go back and reread anything. I want them to introduce me to Sandman, see where they go with it. And if it's something that I really love, then I want to go back and read and kind of see what they didn't do, what they can do going forward. But I want to be consistent in the fact that, because I know if someone heard me say that out of context, they'd be like, but you tell people to go back and reread and watch it all the time. Yeah, I say that once you've watched it and tell me how much you love it. Well, see where it came from. See what else they can do. Like, it doesn't stop there. Get a better understanding of what they can do. I always just tell people, and me and you usually preach this, don't read it or watch it beforehand. Because sometimes what it does is it sets up for some people, myself included, unrealistic expectations on what you want to see, because they want to change it for what they want to do. Right. So that's why I say, if you don't have an idea on what you're watching, allow them to frame it for you. Because nowadays, Joel, we're seeing it with Marvel and DC, and somewhat Star Wars, but more so Marvel and DC. They're now shaping their comics to match their movie universe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just doesn't really matter necessarily what came before, because now this is it. This is the mold now. So it's like
it'll slowly become what it is,
Right.
I don't. Most of the stuff I've already read prior, like some things I haven't, and I don't mind reading ahead because I know how to separate the two. It's just, then some people it's not as easy. So right. Sometimes it's like don't kill yourself. Check it out afterwards.
Yeah. I just usually just want people to know, because it's like when cool stuff happens, it makes sense to you. You understand why. Like the airport scene in Civil War, right? Clearly they couldn't do the massive battle that they did in the comics, so that was supposed to be comparable, right? Even the fact that they replaced what's his name with Ant-Man. And Ant-Man was their big person instead of, what was it, Goliath? Yeah, Goliath. So I'm like, that was really cool, and they used
Goliath also dies in that.
They used Vision in place of, remember when Tony cloned Thor? Vision was supposed to, he was supposed to replace that. So I'm like, they did a lot of really cool things that if you know the context, you're like, oh, that was really cool that they did what they could with what they had. It was
nighttime during that fight too. Yeah, it was a lot. It's very different, but it's in context, that was really what they were trying to get to. Yes.
Right. I mean, in hell, look, they even gave us the Spider-Man scene, but in a completely different movie. They gave it to us at the end of his first movie, where Tony Stark is like, hey, I'm gonna introduce you to the world. Here's your Iron Spider suit. And I loved how he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's really cool.
That was in Homecoming. You're like, I could have started right away. And you're like, thank God. I hated that when that happened.
I was definitely watching that like, no way. You just introduced them. You're gonna expose them to the world already.
I didn't like it when Tony did it, I still
to this day don't like it. I'm
like, oh God, I've gotten over it because he's definitely a more public persona now. But because at the time I was before like identities, they didn't give a fuck about identities. Now like MCU barely gives a shit about identities.
Barely.
Spider-Man should. So
and it's so funny because now, and let's take Spider-Man out of this, because that's the most obvious, that his identity should be hidden. But now I kind of feel like when Marvel does hide identities, now I get frustrated, because I'm like, well, now you're picking and choosing, and that's what I don't like, right? Because I'm like, either you do it for everybody or you do it for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like Spider-Man again is a completely different situation, but I'm like, everybody else, because that's like saying like half the Avengers are known, but the other half no one knows who they are. It's like, how the fuck does that work? Like,
that's how the government.
How does that
work? But they don't feel that way. It's like, well, I'm more private than they are. That's it. That's really the difference.
It's like, when they go out to eat, I don't go with them. So yeah, I'm always.
They do them. I do me. Yeah. Some characters are more open. No, I'm not.
So that was the one thing that bugged me, because then it just became like, they're just picking and choosing who they're gonna reveal and not reveal. Like, don't do that. Just stop revealing people's identities as a whole. Like, that would be great. But all right, let's move on. All right. Next up, let's see what we got here. Wow, the season 4 finale of Stranger Things reportedly has more VFX shots than all of season 3. I don't remember season 3 all that well to know if that's like a big fucking deal. That's interesting. Now I wanted to bring this up, Joel. This isn't part of Netflix Geeked Week, but I know how important this is to you, so I wanted to make sure we got this in early. How upset are you that apparently Ted Lasso's season 3 will be its final season?
Well, that's debatable. They're gonna write it like it's the end, but they've definitely already discussed maybe extending it longer. Doesn't mean everyone will come back if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if it ends at 3, I'm fine with it. That's what they want. I'll live with it, but we'll see how it ends. I wouldn't be upset if they did more, but ends at 3, ends at 3. Show's been fucking phenomenal, so I can't really complain.
To me, when it comes to comedies, I feel like if you think you're approaching your end, your finale should just be a movie. Just make it into a movie. Kind of just go all out, have all the fun you want to, and just wrap it up that way. Because I would like to experience Ted Lasso on like a massive screen. I'm weird like that. I like to experience my comedies on the biggest screen possible. Because I feel like comedy is a lot of what sometimes goes into it being funny is sometimes the aesthetic, sometimes the ambiance, sometimes the background. Like I'm not that big of a fan of the show, but I always thought the funniest thing of Friends was when they go there and that couch is always fucking empty. Like no one ever is sitting on that couch around the time that they show up.
Permanent dip. I mean, there is one episode where there's someone in the chair, and it's a big thing. The whole episode's about them trying to get the chair back. Like, what? You tell them to move it.
I love that. So to me, that's always something that I always find to be hilarious is just the ambiance and the aesthetic of everything. Like it just everything comes together. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else we got. Oh wow, I know you'll like this, Joel. What We Do in the Shadows has been renewed for 2 more seasons, 5 and 6. How excited are you for that?
Very excited. I love that show. So now I know there's 2 more seasons coming. I can sleep in peace, man.
Now all is right in life. So to circle back around, because we missed this, because it was further down in my notes, but Mark Hamill apparently will be voicing Merv Pumpkinhead instead.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the character?
Not at all. But I know Mark Hamill's a great voice actor, and I know he'll do it justice. And that's what I mean. There's a lot of characters in Sandman I just don't know. So right. I do look forward to learning and getting to know a lot of these new characters and embracing the ones that I do know that are now different. Which is it's hard for at first, because you're like, I know them as one thing. So it's and like to see one of my favorite characters, Constantine's one of my favorite characters. Kind of feel like he got left out of this awesome adaptation. Kind of feels like in a little like I got jilted a little bit. But it is what it is. We'll see how she does. I like the fact that they're making her different, which I actually appreciate. So she's not just a girl version, but a very different version of Constantine altogether.
Right.
She's her own version.
Yeah, as she should be. She should be different than what we've known Constantine to be. Mm-hmm. That's how you're able to establish that this is this and that was that. So that we're not thinking we're looking at just a complete swap. Right? It's a completely different character.
It would have been
cool the same name.
Matt Ryan as Constantine.
For sure.
But, I think Legends ruined it. Not playing. It's not the case. The point is,
hey, you never know. They might have.
Nah, Sandman was always going to do something different, and we know they're going to do Constantine in the movies. So that or HBO Max. So it's like at some point there were. I don't think there were. I think that's the main reason they went with the reason they're going with the female version of it. So it's whatever. And
I always say, to me, I always support like if you want to make your splash by making something drastically different, so it's your own. So at the end of the day, when we look back at Constantine, we don't look at comparing this to what Matt Ryan did because it's just so drastically different. Yeah. I always appreciate that rather than regurgitate. Because think about this. We've seen Matt Ryan now as Constantine, whether it's voice acting or live action, for a long fucking time.
Yeah, we have.
Right? So to me, it's like I feel like, and I'm not saying as far as like seeing him in different situations, but I feels like I've seen as much as you could possibly do with his Constantine. Give me something new, right? New or just drastically different. And we're now getting something drastically different and new. So I appreciate that, because to me, that's how directors and writers are able to make their own stamp, whether it's good or bad. We know we can hang up the fact that it's just different. It's just different. So to me, I always appreciate that for sure. You ever watch Shadow and Bone?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Not really. No, I didn't.
Okay. I never gave it a shot. It just, some things I look at and I'm just, it's not for me. It's not for me at all.
I wanted to like it, but I couldn't really get into it. And I know it got picked up for a second season. And I know it just
finished wrapping. It's
second season. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch season 2. We'll see. If I hear it's good, maybe, but I don't know. The first season didn't do it for me.
You know what I'll do? If you at some point do watch season 2 and you end up like, it wasn't that bad, I enjoyed it, I'll go back and watch season 1 and season 2. But because I have a little interest, I'm like, I'm not gonna jump into it. Like, I'm just, and you saying like first season was so it's like, I'm not jumping.
We're different. Like, I'm not gonna. Maybe you would like it more than I did.
I take your word. Usually we like the same things.
Yeah, it just did not pull me in, and I tried. I don't know. I just wasn't.
And I will say this: when it comes to you, it takes a lot for you specifically to not like something, right? So it must have really been a miss for you if you didn't like it, because you didn't say the show was bad. You just said it wasn't for you. Like, it just it didn't capture you.
It's not bad. It's just
right. So it's not like it's bad writing or anything like that. It just wasn't for you.
Yeah, it just didn't entertain me enough. It did. The lore wasn't entertaining. Like, it just didn't pull me in. I don't know.
No, look, I'm gonna be honest, because Trayvon, I believe, loves the show. So I remember I watched the trailer. I was just like, this doesn't look appealing to me at all. Like, at all.
So that's the problem.
Nothing about it.
There are times you watch a trailer and it doesn't do it justice. I'm like, trailer does it perfect.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Sometimes that line just doesn't work, where someone's just like, no, the trailer didn't really do it justice. No, the trailer did everything. Like, it was a very
it got me to watch that show, and
right. So it did its job. The show wasn't for me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, it looked like it had a good budget, at least.
That's good. And I am a huge Ben Barnes fan. Like, I try to support anything Ben Barnes does.
Good. He was good. But I mean, yeah, that was really no one else. That's another thing. No other character
really stood out to you.
Yeah. No, I didn't find an attachment. That's
I get it. I get it. I am very disappointed, and maybe Geeked Week isn't over, so I don't want to speak too soon.
The whole week.
Oh, it's literally the whole week. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is TV shows. Tomorrow's movies.
Okay. Well, then let me speak on that. Let me speak on the fact that today was TV shows. I'm really bugged out that I didn't get anything for One Piece.
We did, but it wasn't anything big.
I'm really disappointed. Again, I'm not talking about a full-length trailer, but to me, show Luffy.
Yeah, they didn't show anybody. They showed sets, and they showed like what some of the sets look like, and they gave us like 6 more cast members, like who's playing who. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Definitely staying within that arc, which makes sense. And the sets are fucking great, but now I want to see it applied. Like, I know what the sets look like. I've not seen one character in costume. Like, that's what I was looking forward to.
Right, because to me, the biggest thing that, and we talk about this ad nauseum, Joel, but to me, the biggest thing is people aren't that high on Netflix's live action adaptations of anime, right? So I'm like, if you know people aren't that high on it, why not just release a photo of Luffy, something to get people hyped, right? So they're like, oh shit, well, at least he looks perfect. You know what I'm saying? So at least aesthetically, I'm gonna enjoy it because he looks great. But to me, to keep hiding things, to me, it builds people's negativity because you have nothing else to base it off of. So you revert back to, well, I haven't really liked anything Netflix has done live action anime, so now I'm gonna just box that shit in, right?
Yeah, it doesn't help because you're like sitting there like, man, like if you gave us something to like chew on, it'd be a picture, like you said, would be fine. Like we didn't need a video. I just picture would have been cool. Like posters, like individual posters, like they did with Sandman, would have been cool.
That would have been great. Your first official poster.
Yeah.
First
official would have been. I know it's much farther out than Sandman is, which is like coming in August. Like,
but to me, you releasing a poster like that, you could change it a billion times. Who cares? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just a first look at everybody would have been cool. That's all.
I definitely want to see what the fishermen look like, because once if you nail that, then they might just go there with some of these. One Piece, these characters are weird looking, bro, and like in terms of size, there's no way that they stay normal. Like some of these have to go back to, you have to like tone it down with some of these characters. Some of these characters are ridiculously big. So like that's why you're gonna have to accept shit. Like certain things are not gonna be done because you got to bring it down into reality, and then sometimes it don't mesh. And One Piece has a lot of weird looking fucking motherfuckers.
Let me ask you this, because I'm curious, because you're obviously a bigger One Piece fan than I am, and it's not because I don't like it. It's just because I haven't sat down to really get into it. But I know I bought the game for Switch because when you were hyping it, I'm like, well, I want to get into it as much as I can without having to watch 14 years worth of fucking episodes. So I got the game and I love the world. I told you the swordsman dude with all the swords that he puts in his mouth and shit. He's my favorite character.
3 swords.
Is it just 3? I felt like it was like 4 or 5.
It's 3.
It's just 3?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, one in each hand and then in his mouth. Yeah, that makes sense.
The white ones in his mouth.
But what's more important to you with this upcoming series? The aesthetics or the story?
Well, you need a good story or else it's not gonna be a good show. You can't. I don't think I could survive without having a good story.
The reason I asked that is we never believe Venom has a good story. It's just everything else is solid enough to carry us. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. No, you're right. And you got to nail the aesthetic if you plan on surviving longer than one season, though.
Right.
Well, I think you might have people that enjoyed the narrative. Because you're taking one arc and you're crunching it into maybe 10 episodes. That's hard. That's really hard. You're gonna have to cut a lot of fat. And so like you gotta make it make sense for the audience that some people have never seen it. So like people that have seen it, you want them to talk it up like, yo, they cut a lot out, but they have to. But look, you look perfect. As long as you say you look perfect and you nailed the key points of each story before you get to Fishman Island, yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think you just got to nail the aesthetic. You can't be afraid to nail the aesthetic, even if you can't go crazy, because some of these fucking people are weird shapes. Nail the look in certain aspects, like if it's hairstyle, hair color, what they wear. If you don't, that's really important because like you can recognize it no matter what kind of person is wearing that is portraying that character. Right. That's all that matters because you can look at them, even black, white, male, female, you know what that person looks like based on what they're wearing and what the key element of the character. Right. You can't leave that out. You can't make them just wear sweats and shit. It's just, they gotta stand up.
I'm completely with you, and the reason why I asked that is, I've said it numerous times. I'm very visual, right? I feel as though if you fuck up the aesthetic the first time around, I don't trust you to get it better the next time. Right. But we know these shows usually have different writers. So season 1 might have been some shitty ass writers. Season 2 is just much better writers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you can get better in your writing team. But can you because a lot of teams we know an aesthetic loss means that they were trimming the budget. And it means certain aesthetics had to be cut. Right. So it's like, I don't know for a fact that your budget will go up more in season 2 for you to cover those said things. So your aesthetics might still be an issue in season 2. So I'm like, I'd rather you get the aesthetics right and you can always finagle the story, right? To where it's either something passable or it's phenomenal, but it doesn't get any worse. And to me, my perfect example of that is you look at Iron Fist. We believe that story-wise, it got drastically better from season 1 to season 2. The problem is they couldn't handle aesthetics to save their fucking life. So see how that takes away from us, because all we wanted was the aesthetics.
Yeah.
To us, we were like, you know what? Season 1 wasn't great, but if you had him in costume, I would have praised the shit out of season 1. I would have accepted no slander if you at least nailed the aesthetics.
It looked more like Iron Fist.
Always more important.
It would have, and it would have. You know what? It pisses you off even more. You could have saved yourself so much time putting him under a mask. Right. It's like, why are you so stubborn?
And look, a perfect example of what we're talking about is Daredevil. Daredevil's story was so overwhelmingly good. It took away from the fact that we weren't fans of his fucking suit. We weren't. We were not fans of that suit. We didn't hate it by any stretch of the means, but it was just like, his suit is so practical. Why did you go so out of it? Like, so way out there to do that? I didn't understand.
Shouldn't leave Daredevil season 1 like saying, I wish he didn't lose the black suit.
Right. Because by the time we got to season 3, where he was exclusively wearing the black, we were just like, I don't really mind.
I don't miss it.
Like, I don't really mind. Like, I'm okay. I liked it.
Go back to black.
Right. So to me, that's one of the things that held Daredevil back from truly being one of the greatest Marvel shows I've ever seen ever, is because the aesthetic was the one thing you just refused to get right. Like, why was that so hard? I don't understand. You watch Moon Knight and you're like, aesthetically, even if that show was ass, just how Moon Knight looked is enough to carry me through 8 episodes. So to me, it's the visuals that are most important, because to me, like I said, that to me is the fundamental that could carry me. Because like I said, I've seen plenty of movies that just aren't good. But if the action is on point, that can carry me through a horrible script. I tell you all the time, what's my favorite action movie ever, Joel? Because it pisses you off every time I bring it up.
What stupid movie?
Shoot 'em up.
Oh yeah.
Shoot 'em up.
I don't even remember the name. That's how bad it was.
Shoot 'em up with Clive Owen. I love that movie. Why? Because it was just so out there with its action that it didn't matter that the story was very much just like, huh? I love that movie. And again, you put Paul Giamatti in anything, I'm fucking watching it. I just am. I fucking love Paul Giamatti. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go find that movie and watch it again tonight. I miss it. But yeah, so to me,
I'm like, what was that?
Me and my dad left the theater like, this is action. This is good action. This is shut your brain off, crazy action.
He shot a bullet from his finger. I'm like, no.
Bro, when he used the carrot, I was just like,
yeah, the carrot too. No, I'm done. This is like a movie.
I love everything I'm seeing here.
I'm like, what?
So yeah, because I got in an argument with my dad earlier today. I was telling him, like, visuals matter more than anything to me. You know what I'm saying? How many times did I tell you just seeing She-Venom was enough to carry me through Venom 1? Like, just that alone was enough.
Yeah, that's why it hurt me like certain times. And that's why CW sometimes hits and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll nail it and you're like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. And then sometimes you're like, what were you thinking? Who was in charge there?
Because it definitely is just more so like, because I always just want to know, like, how much did you try? That's all I ever want to know. Yeah. Right? Like, did you look at what she's supposed to look like and then just go,
yeah, and that's
like,
the thing.
What happened
with the One Piece crew? Like, they're not hard to pull off. They're like, It's not like they're wearing anything extravagant. You're not asking them to put Goku's hair on anybody. Just, like, will Zoro have green hair? I'm very curious. Will Zoro have green hair? I'm like, that's important because his hair is green.
Right. I mean, look, we talked about this with Supergirl's hair. Like, that's how you identify Supergirl. So it is important to Black Canary also.
Yeah, I have a rule. Like, if you don't wear a mask, then the hair does matter.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So to me, I'm with you. And like I said, I'm not as big of a fan as you are, but I'm a fan enough to appreciate the looks, the aesthetic of it. And I do want it to look just like
it. There's a difference between now and in the future. Like, he doesn't look the same. Like, he wears his clothes differently. He wears open. He has different scars. Like, there's a difference from Luffy now to then, and even now. We're talking, there's 3 different versions now, because at this point in the story, he's almost a pirate king at this point. So it's like, it's a journey from this boy. He's like 17 years old to where he is in the future, and it's like you see it, and it's like you're gonna get obviously if you're gonna go through Netflix, if it lasts to that point, you have possibly 10 seasons in you if you do it right. But nothing Netflix goes 10 seasons, you know what I mean? And the fact that the anime is still going, you have a lot of time. You know what I mean?
100%.
But like, I just want to see the main cast. Just give me the main. I just want to see that they're gonna give us the 5 to start, but I want the rest. I want at least the first. Was there 10 of them? I forget, but I just want to see them all in live action. What that looks like, it's awesome. Because now there's even more. There's a newer member. We'll see where it goes, but
usually they fast track that for the show, so that newest member might be in season 2 if they get greenlit.
Well, it's after. Well, once there's a point where there's a 2-year jump in the show. So after the 2-year jump, they actually have that character with them in the first arc. But he goes away and then comes back at the end and becomes a full-time member.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. I could definitely see them playing around with that. So before we move forward, I do want to ask you, I'm going to go first so I don't put you on the spot, but what is an anime series, if this One Piece series is successful, you want to see be adapted? I definitely want, I have three that I want to see, and I will never give up on them. The Big O, Black Lagoon, and Akame Got Killed. I want to see those 3 adapted because they're just not hard to do. So Black Lagoon is just about Remy and her team. They're just like essentially like hitmen. And it takes place on this boat, and they're essentially just doing these hitman missions, but some of the bad guys they take on are like fucking vampires. Like, it's really fucking weird and twisted. You definitely should check it out if you haven't seen it.
I'm so behind on it.
I love the Black Lagoon. That was one of the first, like, when I really got into anime that wasn't just mainstream, like Dragon Ball Z and shit like that. Black Lagoon was the first one I got into, and I was just like, this is what anime is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I love that series. You know how I feel about the Big O. I'll never stop talking about that show. And then Akame Got Killed is essentially, you've seen that before, right? I think I've showed you that before.
You've talked to me about it, but I haven't seen
it. It's essentially like a club of killers. And each of them have like a different skill set. So like one person can kill you with like not string, but like it's like some kind of like wiring that he can like manifest into like anything. Another person just has this big ass sword that turns into like a gun. Like, it's a whole bunch of crazy shit, and it's a really cool show. The first episode is twisted as fuck, but I love that show. So those are the 3 things I want to see adapted, but I'll also state that I'm not a massive anime fan. So I'm sure people that watch this are like, you don't want to see this or that, and it's like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, my anime died way back in the origins of Toonami, so I couldn't tell you about anything today. But is there anything you want to see, Joel, adapted?
There's a shit ton of things I'd love to see. They're just, you need a budget. I think you really need a budget. There's a lot of shows I want to get started because I keep hearing good things about, like Jujutsu Kaisen. I hear is really good, and I forgot what the other one was. I started Black Clover. I know that seems interesting.
Yeah, I gotta start that. Is it good?
I only seen the first couple episodes, but yeah, like Hunter x Hunter is another show. For some reason, I always get stuck. I never can fucking get to it. Like fucking April's farther than I am in that. But I want to get through because I hear it's so good, and I'm like, is it though? Because like I'm watching, I always get stuck and never can get past it. But anime, I'm so behind now because I just can't seem to pay attention. Like my attention span, it won't hold me. But like right now, One Piece. Like I have to finish One Piece. Like I'm in wherever I was. That there's no more new episodes on Hulu. So I have to go somewhere else to finish that show. There's new episodes for what was it? Oh my god, Shaman King. Yeah, I like that show. And then I know that came back, and there's a new series now on Netflix. So I have to get through that. I started it, never finished it. That would be an interesting adaptation. But it all takes money. Like I would love to see like Bleach or Naruto done in live action, or like Dragon Ball Z, like right.
Yeah.
they would love adaptations of them in live action, but just you need someone that's creative, because you have to adapt it to live action, and then you have to make it. You got to put in the money, because anime, especially those type of animes, there's a lot of crazy set pieces.
Yep.
Unlike fucking Rurouni Kenshin, which is more down to earth, which is why they've made so many damn movies of that damn thing. I love them all so far. They've been really cool. But it's so easy because it's not like he does anything crazy. He's just a
You know what's funny?
And...
You know what's funny? I was never a fan of that.
That's so good.
I was never a fan of that. I and again, it's not a battle, but I just flocked more to Yu Yu Hakusho.
I would watch both, so I didn't really have a favorite. I would go between the two of them back in the day. Yu Yu's another one. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I would love to see that.
I would love that.
I want to finish it because I never finished it. So that's another. And that same thing with Kenshin. I started it and I never finished it. So I want to finish Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho. I never ended those shows. But yeah, I mean, there's so many good anime. I'm just lazy when it comes to anime right now. When I was on my fucking grind, bro, I would kill. I was at one point on top of I was up to date on. This is before Bleach finished. I was up to date with Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, all of them. And once I took my foot off the pedal, I've never been able to reach that again. Never happened.
But I do have to cut you some slack because it feels like there's an overabundance of anime, right? So it's not like, oh, there's just 20 anime out, right? And it's just like, oh, I could navigate through 20. There's like 120, probably more, right? That you could essentially say, this is pretty good. It's pretty good anime, right? I hear AJ talk about a new anime, it feels like daily. Sometimes hourly.
That's the thing. When he talks about anime, I'm like, I can't keep up with some of it. I really want to see some of them. I'm like excited to see them, but I'm like, on the other hand, I'm like, I can't. I don't want to. I love My Hero. I got stuck. I'm watching it. I love it, and I forgot about it. And now I have to go back and watch My Hero to catch up. And it's not that hard to catch up on that one, but still, fuck, man. And I love that show. There's another good anime, My Hero Academia, which would also be really cool in live action.
Oh, now another one I would like to see. I forgot about this, but Blue Exorcist. I would love to see Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist, I would love to see the aesthetic of that. Like, how do you pull that off? You're familiar with Blue Exorcist, right?
I know what it is. I just never seen it.
I think you would like it a lot, Joel. It's a really good story. A really, really, really good story. I think they even did like a movie, not live action, but like an animated.
They all have an anime movie.
I still to this day think Bleach has the best animated movies. I'll fucking fight people forever on that.
I've never seen. I've only seen Dragon Ball, the animated movie.
Wow, you haven't even seen the Naruto ones? Wow, I would have thought you would have at least seen the Naruto ones. So you've seen all the Dragon Ball Z ones?
Most of them. I haven't seen the most recent one, which was the fucking Broly. I've never seen it.
Oh, well,
the newest Broly one. I've seen
they retcon Broly completely.
Yeah, I know. I never seen it. Those movies are their own thing. They're not connected to the series, so it's like very much.
Well, that is supposed to be connected. That is now supposed to be connected. They're washing away the other one. Only reason I say it's connected is all the current story points are hit in that said movie. You know what I'm saying?
If you plan on making it canon, then yeah, they would have to, because he's not technically canon, because those other movies don't count. You know what I mean?
Right, 100%.
They're canon to themselves, but they're not canon to the series.
Right.
So it's like they did that with when they brought back Frieza, and they did that with Super Saiyan God or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
They redid it in the show as Dragon Ball Super. They reiterated that movie in the show. You know what I mean? So that's what they did. Like, now we got Dragon Ball Hero or whatever the fuck is coming out, the movie.
Yeah, and I don't know how canon that's going to be. Somebody's saying that that movie is supposed to just be a placeholder till the next season of Super. So I'm like, if that's the case, I'm fine with it, because I still don't like the animation. It's still a big no for me. And now it looks like someone was not theorizing, but breaking down how it looks like we might get a more like realistic Gohan, like not the pushy.
They said that Gohan's gonna be righted. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. Because I mean, they kind of went towards that when in Super, towards the end. You're like, okay, he's trying to
Get back into it.
Get back into it. So it's like, all right, we'll see if he actually does.
That's what always bothered me about when they gave, and we're not going to do a deep dive into Dragon Ball Z, but that's what always bothered me when Goten was born. Because I'm like, well, you completely shitted on Gohan. So I'm like, now you've limited the ceiling for Goten, because now Goten can't be stronger than Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like, well, he can either be as strong or weaker. And it's like, why do that? Like, why not have Gohan ascend and then you could start to slowly build Goten up? Because I would love a movie, an animated movie where it's just Goku and his boys.
Mm-hmm.
No Vegeta, no Piccolo, no Krillin, just Goku and his boys going all out against a villain that's so strong it takes the three of them to defeat it. Right? I would love to see something like that just digs into Goku and his boys. You know, just where you can get a better look at Goten, a better look at a stronger Gohan. You know, just flesh these guys out. Go, as you and Didge claim, Goku is your guy, right?
Yes.
So build up Goku's world more. You know what I'm saying? Stop bringing in new members to join the fucking Z Warriors and just expand on just go like Goku. Like, can I see Goten? Like, did he get stronger? The fuck can he do now?
Who else joined the Z Warriors?
I think in Super, it was 16 and 17. It was this new like space cop fucking thing that they introduced in Super.
18.
No, he did fight.
Fought.
He did fight.
When?
He fought in the first one. In the first one before that second tournament, he fought in the first tournament. He fought in the first tournament, got bounced out like immediately, but he was like their newest honorary member.
I know he was a fanboy, but I don't remember him being. I feel like Boo got screwed because he passed out and didn't get a chance to fight.
Right. So we know Boo is a member, which is weird because I'm like, all right, you introduce Oob, then you completely wipe Oob out to reintroduce Boo again.
This still takes place before Oob, technically. So
it shouldn't.
Like, why not?
Because Dragon Ball Z ended with Oob being trained by Goku.
Well, that was a time jump.
What do you mean that was a time jump?
It wasn't directly after Z. It was supposed to be. There was a time jump there because at that point, because Oob is a reincarnation of Boo,
right?
So, and there's been a couple of years now. So it's around the same timeline where he should be included, but they haven't yet. You know
yeah, I don't like that at all. Oob should be there. Oob should really.
Because right now you have Pan who's a baby. You know what I mean?
Right. But I feel like when they showed Oob, Videl wasn't even pregnant.
She was.
It's so.
I mean, or past it. I think she was born at that point.
It's so fucking confusing.
I know
it has been a long time. You are not incorrect in saying that. That is very accurate. I'm just saying I miss Oob. I would love to see more.
I would love for them to introduce Oob, and because why not?
Especially when you were saying that he was being trained by Goku, and he took his training very seriously. Oob wanted to be as powerful as Goku. So I'm like, I would have liked to have seen how far he came in his training. But now if you have to introduce him for the first time in present day, now it's just like, now I got to go through all that shit all over again. I already saw all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you didn't see him, because he's not technically part of the team yet.
I don't like none of that shit you're saying. But all right, let's keep it pushing with Netflix Geeked Week. Have you ever seen Warrior Nun?
I watched an episode.
What'd you think? I've never even started it.
It was okay. It wasn't enough to bring me back. Not that I didn't want to go back. I lost track of it and I never went back. So
it wasn't so good that it left an impression on you to like, you got to finish me.
No, I did at the time. I started because I heard it was good, but I don't know. It didn't draw me in enough. I only gave it one episode, so I didn't really give it a good try.
Right.
To be fair. So maybe it is better than I remember, but we'll see. Maybe I'll go back.
I'll give it a look-see-sees. What about Lock and Key? You into Lock and Key?
I like Lock and Key.
What are your thoughts on the first look at the final season? Which is weird because I feel like it just started and it's already in its final season.
Yeah, I think it's its 4th season too.
4th? Holy shit. I've just been out of it, I guess. I thought season 1 was just like 2 years ago.
I don't remember when it started. I just know it's been around now a little bit, and it's really good. I really liked it. I really liked it. So I really look forward to seeing it. Even though I don't want to see it end, I do look forward to seeing how they end it.
Yeah, how they wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, it's something that you can't rush. So it's fun to see, like, how do you end it, but make it seem like it's a natural progression for it to end? Not like we got canceled, so we had to put something out, right? Yeah. Like, it's just a natural progression of, no, we're ending it, and we're ending it on our terms, and this is how we wanted to end it. Right. I'm always accepting of that. It can never just seem like, all right, they told us we got to get the fuck out. So
I would recommend it. It's a good show.
All right. Let's see what else we got. Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. That was really cool. I am very excited. She's Wednesday. She hasn't said a word, and that's Wednesday. Like, that's Wednesday. That's just Wednesday. The feeling of the collar, the snap at the end, like everything about her just screams attitude, and that's Wednesday. So I'm very excited for this. How about
I'm very excited. They didn't give us much, but that gave me enough. See, that it was very little, but I got just enough to get excited, you know?
Yeah.
I know more. I know some of the other castings, so I'm excited to see them too. But like, oh man, I love it. She looks great. So
I cannot wait. I'm right there with you. I cannot wait. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, this I was very excited about because I swear to God, I felt like I've heard nothing about it. But Sweet Tooth has filming of season 2 has wrapped. I assume it'll probably come out sometime 4th quarter, really maybe quarter 1. But me and you both loved season 1. We really did. We had not one bad thing to say about it. It was a really cool story.
It is.
I'm glad that the Downey Juniors were able to help make this happen because it's a great story to tell, which is really cool because I didn't know when I was watching it they were producers.
Right.
Him and his wife were the producers for it. But Joel, what are your thoughts, man? Are you excited? Season 2 is not only happening, but we're a step closer.
Yeah, I'm excited because I really like the first season, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. There's another book I didn't read, nor was I really interested in reading Sweet Tooth. But the show really hit the spot. I don't know. It's a feel good show. It kind of has like Walking Dead vibes to it without zombies. But I really dug it. I really did.
Yeah, I just want to see where they go from here and like how you can elevate it. But I could definitely see Sweet Tooth being something that I could sell to someone as a show rather than something I could sell to somebody like, you got to read this book. What's it about? Well, it's about this half deer, half boy. No. Like, I could already just see someone like, read it? No. I'll watch it. I'm not reading that shit. So I'm very excited for that. But all right, let's move on. Now, I'm not big into these things that Netflix does, but I know it's become very popular for Netflix, and that's their horror universe. And Mike Flanagan looks like he has bought them another classic, In the Midnight Club. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have no idea what this is about, but I very much was like, there's a lot of Black people. I like it. like, because I didn't know what else I was looking at. So I'm like, I like it that it's not, just the one token Black that we know is going to die. It's a few Black people here. So maybe we might make it out of this series. Right. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but it intrigued me enough with the flashes of what looks like to be a witch or a dead person that keeps popping up. So I'm very excited. Did you get a chance to check out the teaser for Midnight Club?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I didn't give us much to look at, but I'm open to it because I'm only open to it really because I know the guy behind it. Like he's the guy who did the haunting on Bly Manor and all that shit and Black Mask, or well, not Black Mask, Black whatever the fuck it's called. That show was good too. So I can't wait. Like, so as long as he's involved, I'm watching it.
Yeah, Mike cannot miss right now. Next up, we got the Cabinet of Curiosities, Guillermo del Toro's anthology series. That's telling the stories of a whole bunch of different horror stories from the people behind things like The Babadook, weirdly Twilight, but a whole bunch of different writers from a whole bunch of different walks of life coming together to tell some really crazy horror stories. Joel, you interested in this at all?
Yeah, it looks fucking crazy. And a lot of unknown actors in it too. So I'm like, okay. Every time they went through one, okay. Shocking. Yeah, I'm in. I'm definitely in.
All right, to take a quick left turn, I wanted to talk about this because I know you're a fan of the franchise. How stupid do you have to be if you're Paramount to drop the ball in making a movie to something you do not have the rights to? How do you make that fuck up? Like, and it's right now it's sitting at over 900 mil worldwide.
Yeah, they want that money. That's all that is.
That's all that is.
Oh, that much?
I'm telling you right now, whoever owns Top Gun, they said to themselves, there's no way this time later anyone's fucking interested in Top Gun. And they were sitting there watching, like, what, how many millions? 4 million, 400 million, 600 million, 900 million? Fuck yeah, sue him right now. Sue him right fucking now.
That's the thing. I don't know how you go forward without clearing it. Like,
how do you not know that you didn't clear it is my only question.
Yeah, who's in charge of that?
Yeah, like how is that even a fuck up? Like, that's like Kevin Feige coming out tomorrow saying, hey, I'm making a Batman movie. It's like, oh shit, you're doing something for DC? No, I'm doing a Marvel Batman movie. What? No, you have to know you can't do that. Like, what? You can't do that at all. It's like, yeah, I thought I would try it. You know,
he's like, bet. I'm like,
they will own Disney World. You can't make a fuck up like that. Yeah. So that's very interesting, but God bless you. But huge congrats to that whole crew of Top Gun Maverick. Great work. All it tells is
I'm upset.
All it tells is a story of it does not matter when something came out. All that matters is that you deliver a good story and you pay homage to what came before. Nope. And apparently this did all the above. So congrats to Tom Cruise and that entire team. Very happy for you guys.
Absolutely.
All right. So I don't even want to read that. I'm going to skip over that. Jenna Ortega says Scream 6 will be... I'm not skipping over Campbell not coming back. I'm not ready to talk about that. I'm not ready to talk about that at all. So we're going to talk about other Scream 6.
She hasn't come back before, right?
No. No, she's been in every single one.
Well, I don't need her to come back anyway.
Fuck you. I do. What the fuck? She's the face of the franchise.
But she doesn't need to be though anymore. You have a new girl. Go with
then. If that was the case, I would have preferred the movie she wasn't in to have been the last one. That way, I've had a full movie already.
I don't think there should be another one.
Fuck you!
I'm going with the I'm like, I don't need a sequel. They're doing another one, and then you're not gonna have enough. I'm like, okay, I didn't need Nev Campbell.
I did. The fucking Scream Queen herself. Are you serious? Come on, man. I need her.
Let her live her life.
Man, fuck that. Sydney doesn't get to live a life. We've seen that. Five movies of over 20 years. You don't get to live. She don't get to live a regular life. I have no problem with them passing the torch, but I thought the passing of the torch was she was gonna get killed off, and now it's a narrative of it follows this new girl. But if you're telling me Sydney just goes, I don't want to be a part of it anymore, it's just like, well, Ghostface doesn't usually allow her to make that decision. Like, that's
like 8,000 Ghostface. Like, which Ghostface doesn't allow her to do that?
Well, apparently it all locks in.
Most of them died or got arrested, right? So like,
it usually all circles back to her. No matter who the killer is, it always circles back to Sydney.
So maybe this time it goes back to this new girl.
Which is fine. I just would have preferred for Sydney. I would have preferred for Dewey to have lived and Sydney to have died.
I missed that. I heard that. I'll say that. I'm like, oh no.
But Jenna Ortega says Scream 6 will be the most violent movie yet, and that Ghostface will be more aggressive than we have ever seen before. Ghostface gets a lot more intimidating, says Jenna. Now, I'm very confused because for a person who lunges a knife into your body, I don't know how more aggressive you could possibly get. I mean, he's killed people in some of the worst ways possible. I mean, he broke her knee in the opening of the last Scream movie. So I'm like, I don't really know how much more aggressive a person can get. So I'm very curious to see how aggressive he gets.
He was pretty aggressive. I was like, oh,
I'm like, he was very in your face with all of these murders. So I'm like, that was pretty aggressive. So I'll wait to see how much more aggressive he gets. I'm curious now. All right, let's move on. Let's take a break in the geek world real quick and talk about Hell in the Cell last night. If this is true, are you watching Raw right now?
Yeah.
Look who Edge just brought out.
Oh, nice.
We predicted this forever ago.
You joining him?
I mean, it might be a swerve, but the whole point of Edge being out here, they announced, was for him to announce the newest member. So it might be a swerve.
I've been watching it on mute, so I can't really.
Yeah, no, I get you. So it might be a swerve, but I will say this: I'm very disappointed that it's not Tommaso Ciampa, because I just wanted him to be able to be a part of a bigger storyline than whatever these scraps are that they keep throwing him each week. So I was looking forward to Tommaso Ciampa being part of this group.
I mean, I'm not against it because he fits, but like, I also wasn't against the whole him and AJ teaming up thing either. So.
I wasn't either. I was looking forward to seeing them make the club.
Like an actual, something coming out of it. But
I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Finn Balor's personality screams this group, so I'm not against it at all. I'm really not.
He doesn't fit the I'm taller than everybody else in the room type of narrative.
That's for sure.
They're all fucking giants.
They really are. Even you look at Rhea Ripley and you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't fit the narrative now because Rhea's so fucking huge.
By the way, Rhea Ripley was hilarious on Twitter yesterday because everyone was like talking about like how amazing her ass looked, and she's like, well, that's the blessing you guys get when they lose my trunks. So
she was wearing someone else's trunk.
Yeah, no, she said that they lost her attire, so she had to get creative, and that's what she ended up utilizing. So she's still just rocking the look, I guess. But people were going crazy on Twitter yesterday, like, oh, Rhea got them cakes. Yeah. So it's hilarious to see her just like, fuck it, I'll ride with it.
She rolled it, yeah.
But I did want to talk a little bit about Hell in the Cell yesterday. Because what Vince is doing with these pay-per-views is really bothering me. I am hugely against ever having a pay-per-view where the title of your pay-per-view I only get to see once, and B, don't ever have a pay-per-view where the main title is not defended. I don't like that. So I don't like when you call it Hell in a Cell and you only have one Hell in a Cell. I also don't like it when your main title, like they do that with Extreme Rules. They'll go, welcome to the most extreme night of the year. And then it's just like, oh, I can't wait to see every match in Extreme Rules. One match. Mm-hmm. One match. Everything else is regular. What the fuck are y'all doing here then? Like, is this Extreme Rules? Why is every match not with a chair or a kendo stick? So I thought it was a solid pay-per-view, but I personally don't ever want to see a pay-per-view without a major title. Without the major title, being defended. Very much don't like that. But Joel, you checked out Hell in the Cell. What did you think of the pay-per-view?
It was fine. There was a lot of good work that was being done yesterday. There was a lot of good matches. Like the three-way match with the women's three-way, that was a really good match. The fact that Cody got through that whole fucking Hell in a Cell, it's insane.
The only other time I've seen something crazier than what Cody Rhodes did is New Year's resolution. I think it was 2007, 2008. It was DX versus I think it was Rated RKO. It was DX versus Rated RKO. Triple H completely tore his pectoral. Yeah, he tore it completely, and he finished that match. Oh wow, they turned on Edge.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! So Finn Balor is the leader of this group now.
I like it even more now.
I'm very invested now. Wow.
They turned on Edge. I'm so confused.
I am very invested in this now. Finn Balor being the leader of this group. This is really cool.
Oh my lord!
This is really cool.
Juwaan, this is what I wanted on NXT.
Yes, Joel. Yes, I'm with you. Even though I would have loved a massive faction.
Yeah, I want it bigger than 3, but yeah. Wow.
This makes all the sense in the world.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, this is okay.
2 years ago.
See, this is what I tell my dad is my problem with Vince all the time, because Vince does this. He does some shit that I don't like, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop watching wrestling. And then he does this, and I'm like, well, now I gotta fucking come back. I like this.
Yeah, I'm so confused. What happens to Edge now?
I guess he goes back to the Rated R Superstar. Maybe he tucks his tail and joins AJ. Not to like be a group, but just to help even the odds.
I'm so confused at what's gonna happen now. We're so distracted from the show now. It's crazy.
I mean, you know what's funny, Joel? You know what I do like about this though? What Edge is doing?
What?
Look at Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. What's the one thing Vince has not done with the 3 of them in a long time? Giving them a chance to really stand on their own, right? Like a major push. So essentially, Edge just sold Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. So now they have the main stage. And now you can just develop them to where now they just have the big stage. And it's now what do you do with it? Right?
Love it. That's insane. I was not expecting that. Wow.
I wasn't either. Look, Edge not being a part of this group, I want to see one or two things. I want to see the recreation of Rated RKO, or I don't mind Edge just joining up with AJ Styles just to even the odds. I don't need them becoming like a team.
Right. I don't need him to create a new faction to counter, but still, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm loving this, bro. I did not see this coming.
Are they gonna hurt him enough for him to go on vacation? Is that what this is?
I'm hoping so, because I would like to see him come back with Randy Orton. I would love to see Rated RKO. This is really interesting. Now, if you're AJ Styles, you gotta be thinking to yourself, what the fuck? Like, do I still have beef with the Judgment Day, or is Finn like squash that for me?
Are they still called Judgment?
Yeah, that's another question. Or does he just call it the Balor Club?
This is crazy. No, I mean I keep the name better than Balor Club.
I like when he had the club though. I would really love to see the club back.
They were never. It was them trying to be Bullet Club, and that it just didn't work.
Really, you didn't like that? I love that.
I didn't like the name.
Oh! I thought you were saying you didn't like Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Finn.
Oh, security.
Yeah, just security.
A lot of people that mattered were showing.
Yeah, unfortunately, what they keep doing is they keep putting ex wrestlers in suits, so it makes you think like, oh shit, they're coming. Oh no, they're just security.
I realized that when I saw this guy.
I just saw. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but look, if you look now, Curtis Axel, Curtis Axel security. Not security, but like in management. Yeah, so it's like, well, you're fucking confusing me. Like, when did he stop wrestling? I can't keep up. That was really interesting. I like it a lot. That was a really cool thing to see.
It's a faction I've wanted to see for a long time, so I just shocked.
And look, everyone said, all right, Cody Rhodes is gone. Roman Reigns seems to be part-time. And Sasha Banks is gone. What's gonna carry you? Now I feel like that Sasha's gone. Bayley will be back soon. Yeah. To carry Sasha's weight. And now this new pairing could be something that carries Raw. You know?
Yeah.
This could definitely carry Raw.
I dig it.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see that. That's really awesome. I'm not going to talk about the MTV Awards because we know who votes for those things. So there's no need to go through any of that.
I don't care like I used to when I was a child.
It was just funny seeing people go, that got the best kiss over Batcat? Yeah, guys, think about who votes for these fucking things. Like, they don't speak for us. So fuck it. Whatever. Do what you want. Do what you want. Were you ever into Hunger Games? I feel like I asked you that before. Were you ever into Hunger Games?
I was in the beginning. I just didn't like the last movie. The last two movies.
The last two.
I like when it first started, the first couple of movies, and then I didn't like how it ended.
I am very interested by this, Joel. I wanted to go into this next. We got our new poster for the I Am Groot series that arrives August 10th.
Yeah, I saw that. Nice.
I'm very curious who the cast members are, because your title character just says I am Groot, so it means he has to be surrounded by talking. So I'm curious who else is with Groot in this time for this series. I wonder if there's a rocket, like.
Right. They're animated shorts too.
Right.
So it's like, how long are they? 10, 15 minutes?
I assume 15 at 15 at the most. No. 20 at the most, 15 at the least. No less than 15, I would assume.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Very long. Because if that's the case, then how many episodes? 10? You know?
Right, because if they're 10 to 15 minutes long, you can have like 10. But if they're like 20 to 30 minutes long, they're gonna probably go back to 6. Yeah.
I don't think the only reason I don't think they're gonna be that long is because they said animated shorts.
Right.
And 20-30s, that's regular.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just a regular fucking series. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is interesting. James Marsden will return in season 4 of Westworld. I've never watched Westworld, but I do know he was in. I know he was in season 1, so I guess that's a really cool face to see.
It would have been cool if I still cared.
To me, I thought it was a really cool premise, but I just felt like the story just never really sold
some
me.
of the time. That first season was pretty good, then the second season lost me a little bit more, and then I started that third season. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
it's sometimes so confusing. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm tired of guessing. I'm done.
I'm with you there. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Oh, Dermot Mulroney has been cast in Scream 6. I'm already calling it. He's fucking Ghostface. There you go. Solved it. There you go. Picture we sit down in that movie and it's legit him. It's like, God damn it, y'all. I've been defending you. Deadpool 3 writer Rhett Reese says Marvel supports an R-rated film. Quote, they've been very supportive with regards to that. Now, when it comes to a particular joke, if we cross a line, maybe we'll hear at some point, maybe not that joke. End quote. That's very interesting. But again, it's not news to anybody. Feige and what's his name that used to be the head of Disney both came out and said, yeah, we'll let Deadpool be what Deadpool is. No one's here to change it. So this isn't news, but it is reassuring to people that still to this day ask the question of how do you nerf Deadpool? And it's like, no one ever said they're going to do that. Why do you keep saying that? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how Marvel comes out and goes, hey, we're going to do this. And people are just like, I wonder if we'll ever see that. Bitch, he just said that. Like, he literally out of his own mouth said that. I don't get it. So I don't even need to pass it to you because, again, this is old news that they just have to keep regurgitating. So.
Absolutely. I don't care.
But we did get some really dope ass promo art in figures for Black Adam.
Yes.
I was very excited for this promo art because Hawkman looks godly and he has the mace. That rubbed me.
One of the things.
That rubbed me in all the right places is when I saw that mace. I'm like, well.
Yeah, he looks dope. Yeah. I mean, they all look good. So it's like, I know the trailer's coming out soon, so I can't wait to see it in the
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited because wow, I can't wait to see them in action. I really can't. It's gonna be awesome.
I will say if I'm being nitpicky, and this is just being nitpicky, I don't like when they give live action characters weapons and then they just fucking shrink said weapons. That mace should be a little bit fucking bigger than what it is. That fucking thing looks, it's the equivalent of fucking Valkyrie's little fucking prison dagger or fucking shank.
His mace isn't that fucking huge.
No. I'm saying what she uses in the MCU, not what she uses in the comics.
I'm just saying, like, his mace isn't massive. It's just
no. I just want it bigger than what that is.
Well, we haven't seen it in the movie. We've just seen the toy, so we'll see.
Oh no, I'm going off the promo art. I'm not even going off the toy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going off the promo art.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, I don't usually fully judge toys. To me, sometimes you release the toy because you're like, well, it's usually kids buy it, so who gives a fuck? It's usually the promo art that I judge that usually comes on the said toys. And I'm like, well,
sometimes
that's
promo art is off. Not always, but sometimes it's off. Like,
sometimes it is.
Those Captain America ones from the Avengers where he had his ears exposed, and then they're not.
Joel was like, good boy.
Well, what happened? He looks fine in the promo art.
The season finale for Stranger Things season 4 clocks in at 2 hours and 19 minutes. How excited are you for that, Joel?
Jesus Christ, these shows are long. Like, I love watching fucking Stranger Things this go around, but man, were those episodes long. I was like,
I kept looking down like, this is still fucking going.
I mean, luckily it's good, but still,
it's really good.
Yeah. I was sitting there like, I'm only a half hour left.
The Duffer Brothers teased the final 2 episodes of Stranger Things season 4. Quote, I don't really want to say, but I would be concerned about the characters going into volume 2 for sure. Everybody is in danger, and there's sort of an ominous feeling that things might not go well. I already predicted Dad Steve is probably going to be the one that bites a bullet for sure. The likelihood of them killing one of the kids, almost slim to none. So I'm like, well, that means some of these fucking adults are biting the bullet. So I'm like, all right, you can't kill what's his name? What's his name played? He was the sheriff. What's his name in the show? He was taking care of Elle last season. What's his name in the show? I can't fucking Hopper.
It's Hopper.
You can't kill Hopper because it's like, well, you already gave that feeling when we thought he died last season before bringing him back. So I'm like, that has no effect. I don't think any of the kids are gonna die. So I'm like, shit. Those adults, you gotta be terrified. If you're Steve, if you're anybody like that, you might be biting the bullet. So if you had to guess, Joel, who could you see biting the bullet in volume 2 come July 1st?
Oh, I forget their names, so it's harder for me to.
Let me pull them up for you. Hold on. Just keep talking about something while I pull it up for you.
Yeah, well, Stranger Things is good.
I hate you. All right, let's see. Here we go. So we got, and this is just the adults. I'm not naming any kids. So we got Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, Joyce.
The boyfriend?
Yes, he's Will's brother.
He's dying.
Damn. All right. Joel just full out dead. That motherfucker's biting the bullet. Okay. All right. So you're going Jonathan. I'm going Steve. All right. So I'm gonna just name some more names of the people. I'm not picking them yet. We got Nancy, Jim Hopper, Joyce, Robin, Murray. We got Dr. Martin Brenner, Eddie Munson. We got Argyle. And to me, I think that's really it. That's really it of who I could see as that main cast really dying. Peter Ballard, who turned out to be the actual bad guy, maybe he bites a bullet for sure, but that's not a character we really care about. We want that character to die. So
stay dead.
I'm also gonna put out there Dimitri, the guy that Hopper was working with in that Russian prison. I could see him dying to save Hopper. All right, so out of everybody else that I named so far, me and you got Jonathan and Dad Steve. Who else you got?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really. Jonathan and Dad Steve is the one you think are gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jonathan's definitely dead. Oh no, man. I don't know. They said someone's gonna die. Is that what they said?
Well, they're saying that don't assume that everything's gonna. I'll read the quote again exactly. I don't really want to say, but I would be concerned about the characters going into volume 2 for sure. everybody's in danger, and there's sort of an ominous feeling that things might not go well. And it leaves off with us seeing Nancy is stuck.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna die.
No, I don't either. I was just saying that's how we left it. So if things get more ominous than that, then that means bodies have to drop. And Vecna should be able to take out some people on his way out.
Yeah, I just wanted to before go bye. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. Like I did Game of Thrones, like that final season, like which one? And I was pretty close. I got a good majority.
I was gonna say, if we're being fair, not many fucking people lived at the end of that.
Oh no,
like main people.
Everybody was killing everybody off. I was the least. I had the least amount of picks because I didn't. I
believe it.
And I won. I won the pot.
I 100% believe it. Joel is very much of wherever it seems like they're going negative, I'm going the opposite way. So if you think everyone's dying,
everyone's. Oh, this.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Everybody survives, but 2 people. And it's like, God damn, Joel was right. And it's like, yeah. So what happens when you leave with positivity? That's what happens.
That's gonna die.
Oh, we know that for sure. So okay, so I'm fine with us just resting right now on Jonathan and Steve.
Can't think of like maybe one of the.
I am gonna throw in Murray. I'm throwing in Murray. Murray is the guy that was helping Joyce when they went to Russia.
He might too.
I'm throwing in him, and I like him a lot. I'm also throwing in, not because it's the character I like, but because it makes the most sense for them to die, Dr. Martin Brenner. I'm throwing him in too.
Which was
Martin Brenner. Martin Brenner is the guy that was experimenting on 11 and number 1.
Oh yeah, he's totally dead. Man.
I'm like, if Vecna hasn't killed him yet, I assume at some point he will.
He's dying.
Like, at some point,
Jonathan for sure. I think you're dead. Well, I don't know about for Jonathan, but
because think about it, when it comes to Martin Brenner, think about what Vecna's been doing all season, right? So Vecna's been kind of just feeding on guilt, right? Mm-hmm. This motherfucker has to have the deepest amount of guilt out of everybody in the show, Martin Brenner. Like, he has to have guilt. Fucking kids dying all around him and shit. There has to be some kind of guilt there. Yeah, so I'm like, Vecna about to feed on that motherfucker for sure.
Faux show.
So yes, all right. So let's just rest on, because I'm like, there's no way they kill Robin. No way they kill Robin.
I don't think any of the girls die. I don't see it.
Oh, fuck that. It's equal rights time. Ain't no way you killing off just all the men. Fuck that. One of these women better die.
I don't see it. Which one?
If I had to pick, it would be Nancy. I could see a scenario where Jonathan and Steve live, and Nancy's the one that dies. So neither one of them get her.
I think by showing her getting stuck, I already gave away she's not dead.
No. I don't think she's dead in that moment, but that doesn't mean she won't die.
I don't think she's dead either, but I think that shows her in danger of dying. I mean, like, if you're stuck, you're stuck.
I think it shows that there is something that Vecna sees in Nancy.
But he also the redhead, what's her name?
Oh, you're talking about, but remember we were saying we were leaving the kids out. You're talking about Max.
I'm just saying, Max. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah. I'm leaving out all the kids. I don't see that you killing off any of the kids. And if you did, I see you killing off the one kid that this show has tried its best to not give a fuck about, and that's Will.
Will.
I'm like, if anyone's gonna die and everyone just go like, huh? It'd be Will.
Like, I'm struggling with the sexuality right now. You gotta give him a chance.
It seems like he is, but I'm waiting for them to say it so I don't look like an asshole for just assuming it. But I swear to God, it seems like he's in love.
I think it's on purpose. That's why. Yeah.
I swear to God,
from the very beginning when he's like, "Oh, he's been painting and he's been quiet," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well, don't say that, Joel. I'll say more so. It seemed like like me and you are really good friends, but I don't think either one of us yearn each other when we don't see each other. Like, I can't believe, like, I haven't seen you in so long, and when I see you, you didn't spend enough time with me. It's like, what? We're grown.
Well, you didn't touch me.
Yeah, it's like, but also Mike was trying his best to say this the nicest way. And look, this is gonna sound a little vulgar, and sorry, I'm mainly saying it just to be more jokeful, but Mike is at a point in his life where he's like, bro, vagina exists. Of course I'm not contacting you as much. Like, I have a girlfriend now. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to spend all my time with my girlfriend.
I'm your best friend. Love me. Look it, man.
And to be fair, every guy has gone through that. Every guy has gone through. I spend every day with my best friend, and then I found love for the first time, and it took over. Like, I don't have time for you.
Best friend, yes, for sure.
I mean, because think about it, and that's what I always say. That's the biggest difference, right? Because when it goes, all right, you got a male best friend and a girlfriend, right? What's the only difference between the two? I sleep with one. That's really it. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, I'm gonna lean more towards that way. I don't sleep with you, so I'm gonna go that way.
There's a certain things she does that you just do not.
No, there are certain things she does I don't want you to do. So it's like
you can't fulfill me in the same way.
You can't. I'm sorry. You got to go play D&D with somebody else. Sorry, it won't be me. It won't be me. Wait, say it again.
No, I got a text message. And I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he's trying to FaceTime me. I'm like, that doesn't mean I'm available to talk.
Yikes. Okay, so just anyone out there, in case anyone doesn't know Joel, you under no circumstances call Joel. Sometimes not even in an emergency. You can call Joel like, oh my God, something crazy is happening. Joel's like, is there any way you could formulate this in text? It's like, no, I needed to call you. It's like, I don't really like this. Like, send a voice memo. I can do voice memos. I can wrap my head around that. Look, I don't blame you, Joel. I love that you're that adamant about not really liking phone calls, because that's how I feel about ringing my doorbell. Ringing and knocking on my door, mainly because I just don't want company. But it's mostly just the idea of what it represents. Now I have to go entertain something. I don't like it. Don't do it. Text me ahead of time and I'll
remember the last time I knocked or rang a doorbell.
Oh God, people do it religiously here. Oh my God.
Actually, no, I rang the doorbell the other day, actually, because I just wanted to let them know I'm here.
Oh, I sent text. Hey, I'm on my way. Hey, I'm on my way.
No, he texted me, and I didn't want to respond because I was already there, so I just ran.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, let's move on. This is a topic that I didn't really give any thought to, because I'm glad things ended up the way that they did. Kevin Feige reportedly had talks with Warner Brothers to lead DC after growing frustrated with former Marvel CEO Ike Perlmutter. Now, Ike Perlmutter is a motherfucker. We know this. So I understand that completely. But I was talking to Ash, and Ash was like, man, what could have been? And I said, no, because to me, it's making one thing worse to make the other better. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. To me, DC is starting to shape up. You know, it's starting to round itself out to be a respectable entity. To me, that means I would have gotten, 20 plus years of great DC content, but shitty ass Marvel content. No, you're robbing one despite the other. No. Everything planned out the way that it was supposed to. And now, him being part of Marvel, he now gets to look over and oversee a little bit of Star Wars. So I'm like, I might even get the best of both fucking worlds with Kevin Feige over at Disney. I'm glad it shaped out to how it shaped out. So my question to you is, Joel, because I know you're not a what if person at all. So I want to phrase this question differently. If Feige did hop over to DC, who would you have liked to have seen him start that DC universe with?
I mean, not that I'm not a what if person. I don't like to go super deep, because it's like, it's too what if. Like, you can make up whatever fucking fantasy you want.
It does no justice. It's like, bro, he's not here in DC, so he stayed in Marvel. So we don't need to do a deep dive into it.
At what point, what had that been?
I assume that would have been earlier on, like maybe around Civil War, because remember that was the biggest fight Feige was having with Perlmutter. Because remember he didn't
came out around at the same time as BVS,
right?
So imagine that would have been a crazy hire right after BVS, because all the fucking shitstorm that was BVS.
I would have liked to have seen how that would have even worked, because at that time Zach was your face of everything DC. So I'm like, what would you have booted Zach out then? to put Kevin, because I don't think their two visions would have added together.
Well,
no fucking possible way.
Not long term, because obviously Zach's vision wasn't long term.
Not at all. So Kevin, the first thing Kevin would have said is just make this universe an Elseworld. Put this separately and let me create a new long-term DC universe.
Listen. You remember when Bruce was sleeping in the cave and he had a nightmare? Yeah, that whole movie was a fucking nightmare. So let's do it like
right. That was a nightmare for everybody concerned.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
You just watch his nightmare, like he wakes up and it's like it's still Man of Steel. Like that's
I love that. That's hilarious. So he's just like, yeah, wake up from that nightmare. That shit doesn't exist anymore.
Never happened.
Right.
We can start from Man of Steel again. That's it. That'll be
so. Would you have liked to have seen him started off with Superman again, or Batman, or Wonder Woman? Who would you have liked Feige to start it off?
At that point, Man of Steel was out. I would like you already have him established. Go with that and go forward, and then take over from there. Because then you can start fresh.
Gotcha.
BVS was a shit show, so you're like, oh, and then Suicide Squad was a shit show, and you're like, oh. At this point, you're like,
I just can't get this shit right.
Well, what sucked about that is that they were already filming Justice League. By the time Suicide Squad was out, it's like they didn't give themselves time to breathe and fix. They were rushing into everything.
You were so into it, yeah.
Right, they thought everything was gonna hit, and that's what really fucked them up. And at that point, like we put too much money into this, but we can't just stop now. Right. Oh well, let's fucking shoot everything, and no, see that's where they fucked up.
Yep.
They rushed too much. You didn't establish. You had no foundation. That's why it crumbled. That's really what happened.
Right.
And it's like I think Feige could have probably righted the ship, but it wouldn't have been easy.
I will say this: right after Suicide Squad would have been the perfect time for someone to come in and go, "Hey, enough of all this.
Cut it off.
We're starting over. We're starting over." And it's like, but we got a good cast. No. I'm gonna start over. Same cast, better stories, better vision, better longevity. Because to me, that would have been a perfect time. Papa John's. I fucking love Joel. All right. Todd Phillips is reportedly pretty close to developing a sequel to Joker. I've never not cared about something more in my life than to hear that shit. To me, it just rubs me completely wrong. I
enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel, It's Elseworld. I know it's Elseworld. It's established Elseworld. So whatever, do what you want.
To me, I thought the whole hype of the idea of Elseworld is that you don't grow it. It's just a one and done. You don't grow it.
But if there's money to be made, I guess they're like,
I'll never argue that because
you gotta mine it.
Money to be made, so I won't argue that. Bad Batch season 2 is coming out September 28th. That's not really a shock to me and you because we believed it was going to come out September, October, no later than that. That's when it came out last year.
Yep.
So that's not a shock at all.
September now, so
right.
We got a lot. Hey, look, we're not gonna be starving. It looks like so. September gave us
not at all.
Bad Batch. She-Hulk should go into September too. So we're good. Look, there's no starving the rest of the year. Period.
Right.
We got between Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. You got something every month, bro.
All I could ask for. And look, the biggest thing, Titans hasn't been announced yet.
And we don't even know. Yeah, we don't even know when Titans and Doom Patrol come out. So.
Right. So that's another thing to look forward to. This is a report coming from Making Star Wars. I don't know how legit they are. That's Joel's field. But according to them, we are getting a second season of Kenobi.
See? VLC. They're not bad. Making Star Wars is good. They're one of the better ones, I would say. Can't complain if that's the case. I gotta see how this ends first.
That's my biggest thing because I'm like, you're already treading on territory that's unnecessary for you to tread upon. It's a whole thing that to me I always felt, when this was announced, I always felt was better left as George left it in episode 4, to where it was just dialogue. Like the last we met, you were the master, I was the learner, you know, now I am the master. It was fine as a line, right? Now you've taken that line and developed a series. No problem. It's lived up to it. But how it ends will determine whether or not I find the need for there to be a season 2 and whether or not I'm even interested in what you're going to do with a season 2, right? Because now I'm like, if you do a season 2, you're starting to really, truly retcon the fact that this motherfucker never left the planet. Now you're saying he did nothing but leave the fucking planet. So now I'm like, all right, well, why? It makes sense now. Leia got kidnapped, no problem. You can't go down that well twice, right? And now you can't tell me Luke's been kidnapped, because then it would retcon the fact that Luke even knew who the fuck this motherfucker was. Right. So I'm like, now it's very dangerous territory. So that's why I said season 2 would have been better. This would have been better as like an anthology series, to where season 1 is Kenobi, season 2 is Vader, right? And then you could even do something really fucking weird, like season 3 be a Yoda series. Like, what the fuck was Yoda doing in Dagobah by himself? You ever do anything? Right. So I would have been more interested in that. But again, I'm not judging it till I see how this season ends. So I'm not saying I'm against it till I see how they wrap this up.
Right.
All right. I meant to loop this in earlier, but we did get an official new look at Black Adam ahead of its trailer release this Wednesday. The suit just looks gorgeous. I just really love everything about the suit. I really do.
They got they nailed the aesthetics.
Yeah.
There. He's going bald, you know, at least, you know, he's committed to it.
Yeah.
All right, whatever, fine. You know, they could have been a little more creative with that, but whatever. Let's see how he plays the role now.
Yeah. Yep. That's all I'm looking forward to. And the impact that this movie has. Because like I said, my biggest fear is you fuck this up, I won't get the fucking JSA anymore. And I need the JSA as much as possible. Joel's got me fucking hooked like a fucking coke fiend on that team. So I'm like, now I want as much of it as I can possibly get. So I'm like, don't fuck this up first. Like, don't fuck this up.
I really do. I mean, you need an offshoot. I think that would be a nice alternative to the Justice League for the time being. And hey, man, like let's get some JSA out there. Let's make these new characters popular. And I'm excited. Hopefully they're a hit in this movie so they can get their own spinoff.
Yeah. All right. New report from Variety. Warner Brothers is reportedly, quote, enthusiastic about The Flash and believe the film will be one of DC's strongest theatrical releases. There are hopes things with Ezra will get better. There are no plans to replace Miller at this time. That is a shock only to the rest of the world. That was not a shock to us. We thought it would be ludicrous if you fucking recasted him before the movie came out, because you're not going to shoot it over. So it's like, well, just wait until after the movie comes out and then say you're recasting him. But you don't do it before the fucking movie comes out. How do you sell it then? Like, oh, y'all want to see Supergirl and Batman? Bitch, no. It's called Flash. Like, I want to see Flash. Promote that. So to me, regardless, and you know, I've been a very big, supporter of him getting the help that he deserves, that he needs. Sorry. To me, it's a waiting process. To me, did he do fucked up shit? Sure, but I believe in second chances. Give him a chance to do better. You know what I'm saying? So to recast him and then he makes better of himself, now he's out of a job. America's supposed to be about second chances, and we love to just rob people of that. You fucked up once, into the grave you go. So to me, I hope he does get better, especially because here's my biggest problem, Joel. If I fucking love this movie and I love him in it, and then you're telling me that he's gone, now it's a whole new person. Now I got to get adjusted to this new person. And here's the biggest problem. It's not going to be the same exact character. Whoever this new actor is that you're bringing in will have to do something different than what Ezra did. So now it's getting used to a new Barry app. And it's like, I just don't want to fucking go through any of that. I don't want to go through any of that.
I'm not opposed to going through that. But obviously it's after the fact, you know. Once the movie comes out, we'll see how if he's doing good at this point, then I don't care if he stays on. But if they go in a different direction, I'm not going to be upset.
Well, I'm not going to be upset in the sense of not understanding why they went in a different direction. I'm going to be more so upset in the idea of it just seems like dominoes keep falling. Now we're hearing rumors that they possibly are just getting rid of Mira going forward.
That's a new one.
Right, getting rid of Mira going forward. We currently, and we know it's going to be fixed, so I don't mean this long term. We don't know what the fuck's happening with Henry Cavill. So it just seems like there's just a lot of holes, right? So I'm like, I hate the idea of creating more holes. That's more what my issue is.
Well, hopefully that's particularly I don't know what this new guy is going to do. He seems to be more like, hey, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
And I like that, but at the same time, he might start cutting shit too much. You don't want him to cut too much because, like, we're trying to establish something here. So keep the right shit, cut the wrong shit. I don't mind that, you know. I love the fact that he went in there and was like, where the fuck is Superman? What are you doing?
Like, who told you guys to take Superman away? I don't understand.
Whose idea was that? Like, you're fired.
No, but that will be the difficulty of his job, is weeding out what's good, what's bad. Because from a business standpoint, it's hard to really pick out what's good, what's bad, because all the shit makes money. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he's able to weed out what's good, what's bad, rather than just ripping that page out of the book and starting a whole new chapter. So that's what, again, I'm not putting any burden on his shoulders at all. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Shit, you see how fucking patient I am with fucking quarterbacks. I'm willing to give him 3-4 years before I'm like, you're a bust, get him the fuck out of here. So I'm giving him all the time that he needs. I'm just curious when the moves start to happen. That's all I'm looking forward to. Because to me, we sat through 2 separate regimes before him that would just talk. Yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do this. And none of that shit ever happened. So now,
the first regime was clueless. Second regime didn't know how to fix it. So they just kind of like, you know what, we're multiverse.
We're just gonna double down on, we don't know what the fuck's happening here. So here's a whole nother universe for you. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why?
It's that meme with the aliens. Multiverse.
Multiverse. So yeah, so we'll just wait and see what happens. But a lot of people have been saying really good things about this Flash movie. So
I hope so. I hope that's true, because like I want it to be fucking good. I want a good Flash movie. I want it. I love the character of the Flash. Love the Flash. And
I will say this.
In it. Like,
I was just about to say, whoever wrote this script, you'd have to try your hardest to find a way to introducing Supergirl, establishing Flash, bringing in 2 Batmen, to find a way to fuck that up. You'd have to be really, really talented to be able to fuck that up. It sells itself. Like right there, it sells itself. What we just said. Introducing a new Supergirl. Furthering Flash's story, right? Bringing in 2 different Batmen.
Yeah.
Classic of today and a classic of all time. You'd have to try really hard to fuck that up. So bravo if you're able to do that. Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I know there's going to definitely be people in there that don't like it because it's not Zack Snyder's movie, and there's gonna be people that hate it because Ezra Miller's in it. Because, but that's just how, and unfortunately,
that's unfortunately how it is.
Right, and that's the hurdle they have to get over. Those 2 types of people.
But luckily for them, because think about this, Aquaman has the harder test. Amber Heard is fucking radioactive right now, and that movie is this year. At least for Flash, you have so much time.
It's next year.
I thought it was still. Oh, no. That's right. Black Adam is December. Got you. Okay, then yeah, they're fucking fine. Yeah, both of them are fine. You have so much time to build up goodwill. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, if they cut it out of the movie, then like, wow. Like, okay.
If that movie still came out in December, you might have had to. You might have had to fucking completely cut her out. Like, nah, it's just a scene of Jason Momoa talking to himself. Like, we had to cut her out completely. He's just talking to himself.
A lot of references in there.
Right. So, Mira, what do you think? Oh, I think it's like, wait, is Jason Momoa just talking to himself? Yeah. We didn't know what else to do. We couldn't recast that.
The question with her, if they really do cut out all her scenes, are they done with her completely? Does that mean like if there's another Aquaman, is she done? So they have to recast.
To me, I find her to be very important to Aquaman's character. I don't want to see Aquaman move forward without Mira.
You have to have Mira. You don't need to have Amber Heard, but you definitely
need Mira. Right. I'm with you there. Kevin Feige reportedly has a long list of directors he's interested in to direct the Fantastic Four. He and Marvel Studios are said to be taking shots on some big names. I don't know what that means. I'm like, if you can direct today in Hollywood, you're a big name, right? Like you just need one thing you've done, and you can be.
I guess this is my big. It's someone people know. They're like, oh, it's not gonna be some guy that just did a movie, and because that's what they do a lot too. They'll take a really popular movie that just got made. And they're like, oh, you're my new director, and they're gonna say yes.
Yeah, right. That's fair. I still hope it's John Krasinski. I still hope he's starring and directing.
That would be big. That would be big. I mean, because like it's. I mean, he doesn't have a huge movie portfolio, but
right. But I mean, there is no bigger name to bring into that franchise than the guy that people want to be in that said franchise. You know.
Yep.
And we know how much he wanted to be Mr. Fantastic, so he would bring his all to not only the role but to the director chair. So
I want them to officially announce him as Mr. Fantastic already.
That's all we've been waiting for, Joel.
That's just and luckily it sucks to say that because it was literally Mr. Fantastic in a movie already. So it's like, but the fact that we still don't know that that's him in a different in our universe is what's killing me. And I was like, it's too perfect. You can't
it's too perfect to fuck up. Yeah, because now I'm like, if you cast someone else, that's gonna take a while. Unless that name is a bigger name than him.
Right. It's so deflating. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Now everyone's excited. You took the excitement out of it if you cast someone else.
Because to me, I kind of feel like you could have gotten the actor from the original Fantastic Four to be in that Doctor Strange movie than to doing John Krasinski. Because then that means that's you just acknowledging that we wanted him and not giving a fuck. Right. Like that's all that is. And to me, you should never do that. It's just unnecessary. Filming on Furiosa starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth has begun filming. I'm excited for this movie because of Anya, because I just saw what was the movie that she was just in? Not The Huntsman. Was it The Huntsman? With the Skarsgård brother.
Oh, you did watch it?
It's on Peacock now. The Northman, thank you. It's on Peacock now. So I watched it and holy Robert Eggers. Man, if Robert Eggers told me tomorrow, hey, I'm gonna adapt Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I would say there's no other person on earth I would want to do it but Robert. No other fucking person. But this movie was magnificent. I was a little disappointed in the ending. I would have preferred if he didn't die. But it was a beautiful movie. Very fucking beautiful movie. And I got to see Anya ass, so that was also awesome. That was pretty cool. But yeah, you like that movie yourself because you were telling me like you should definitely see it.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was crazy. And then to find out that it's the story that inspired Hamlet, I was like, oh fuck.
Wow. This was way better than that though. I tell you that.
I would agree, yeah. So much fluff in the Hamlet.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, at this point, can we replace Hamlet? Can we put this in the rotation? But yeah, very great directing, awesome acting from everybody, great twist. That Nicole Kidman twist was just like,
bitch.
Interesting. And they did do the one thing that I always love for movies to do because it's realistic. It is very hard to clean someone's head right off with one shot. Very difficult. So I like in some of the shots, it was more than it was. Like it was repeated. I'm like, well, that's more realistic because that has to be one of the strongest fucking blades if you just took it once, or you have to be like fucking Brock Lesnar chopping Juwaan's head off for it to make sense that one clean sweep was all you needed. So to me, I just always love the realism in that, but that was a beautiful story. I loved everything about it. Robert, do more movies, please. Fucking please. All right, what else do we got? We don't care about any of the Amber Heard shit, Johnny Depp shit.
We really went into it.
Right. Let me see what else here. I don't really see that much more. Oh, we could talk about this. Pam, Abdi. Okay, because the B and the D being right next to each other just fucking threw my whole world into a fucking whirlwind. Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca will oversee,
Yeah, Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi, yeah.
Will oversee DC temporarily until David names a new DC chief. I like it. I'm interested to see what
yeah, they are, but like it's still. See, when that got announced, it was very much they're going to be the heads of Warner Brothers and New Line. So, and it's in the summer when the deals are done. Right. So they're the new because Toby Emmerich is stepping down,
right?
Because he's becoming a producer, starting his own production company.
Yep.
So now, so DeLuca and Abdi are going to take over as the heads of Warner Brothers and the Warner Bros. Studios and New Line. Right. What's his name? Who's currently the president of DC? Oh my God, Hamada.
Oh, yes, Hamada.
Is still going to stay as president for now, but he reports to them.
Right.
And then there is currently no one for DC animation, but they're going to split into 3 factions. It's Warner Brothers New Line, Warner Brothers Studios New Line, DC, and DC Animation. I mean Warner Brothers Animation. Sorry.
I still don't understand why they don't just make it James Tucker. I'll never understand that.
Warner Brothers Animation?
Yeah.
But yeah, Warner Brothers Animation will have their own head, and then eventually, once Hamada's time is done, they will have a DC figure. And obviously, they're still looking for a Kevin Feige type.
Yeah, we should get Walter Hamada out of there as soon as possible. But that leads me into my next thing. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David has asked Joker director Todd Phillips to do more in the DC universe, and even wants the director to take on an advisor role.
I know. Well, I don't know if he understands what the knowledge that he has. Like he's a good movie director. Yes, I think he's a good director. And look, if he wants to do more indie shit or wants to take a crack at being a consultant on like a Black label, that's cool. But he should in no manner be an advisor on the DC universe films if you plan on having continuity.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm not giving control of an entire universe over the guy whose first thought was, I'm going to make a Joker movie where Bruce Wayne at the time is only 10 years old and my Joker is in his 30s. That makes sense to me. I'm going to go ahead and see how that plays out.
But again,
obviously his heart is in Elseworld.
Yeah, it's not. That's why, because he doesn't know the lore. He just wanted, this sounded cool and he did it. And it worked because it was cool.
Yeah, and when you get Martin Scorsese to sign off on it and produce it for you, it's just a very easy road to check down.
The movie did really well, way more than expected.
Phenomenally well.
And that's why David was very much like, can you do that again?
Yeah, to me, I'm like, if I'm going to give the keys to anybody in DC right now, it would be James Gunn. Yeah, if I had to pick, 100%. It would be James Gunn. Let James Gunn be your face.
The only time DC felt connected was in fucking Peacemaker.
It really did. And I'll even say Suicide Squad. Even Suicide Squad felt very connected. Right. So to me, if I had to choose, I'm not saying he's the best guy for the job for the kill us in the comments. I'm just saying out of what they have,
I don't know if he wants that responsibility, but yeah,
I don't think so. But if I had to choose out of what they have currently, he'd be the guy.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard for me. I'm like, bro, this guy knows his shit.
He does, and he appreciates aspects of DC Comics that people just never thought of, the same way Kevin does with Marvel, right? Because Kevin was giving us characters that, regular people off the street are like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? James Gunn could do the same exact thing. Take characters like a Peacemaker and popularize them to where they're now household names. So the next generation they know everything about Peacemaker. He's not this weird new character no one knows about. So I would love to see who else from the DC basement James Gunn can pull out for us to go, oh shit, okay, yeah.
An interview today, I think, with James Gunn saying that he's attached to more projects on DC.
Right, yeah, that was old news that he was willing to do more things, but being the face of it is something we didn't know.
And the fact that Amanda Waller show is not the other thing he was talking about.
It's interesting. Yep.
That's even more interesting. Yep. I was like, oh, well, how deep into this are you, brother? Well, that's interesting. And he said he feels like after he's done with Guardians that he wants to do more TV. So yeah, a lot of fun doing TV sets. He said like the next year or so I'll probably be focused on TV stuff. So
see, I would even like that because look at what Filoni and Favreau are doing for Star Wars television, right? Neither one of them are doing movies right now. We believe that might change, but neither one of them are doing movies. They're just doing TV. Right. And Favreau's a very established director, and he just wants to do TV. So I'm like, if James Gunn says, "Hey, I'm handling all DC television," I'd fucking sign the check right now, blank check at that. Fucking write your own numbers in. I don't give a fuck. But that's what I'm saying. To me, I would rather. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have someone separately for television and someone for movies, and just have them work together, so that whatever the crumbs you have from the movies can be the TV shows, so that it's fluid, so it's all interconnected, so that Titans isn't separate, Doom Patrol isn't separate. It's all one long timeline of connectivity that you can kind of just weave in and out, right? That's what I would prefer. So that's what I would love. James takes over TV, someone takes over the movies, and then you just let them come together. Yeah. Where the movie person goes, hey, this new Suicide Squad movie, James, that you're about to work on, how can we incorporate some of these characters into here and some of my characters from the movie universe into your TV universe? How can we blend both? And then just make it work. I would very much love that. But that's why I said I don't need one specific person to rule everything for DC. It's fine to have two separate people. It's fine. It's completely fine. Two separate people. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just think yeah, no, that's exactly right. We just need people. We need just knowledgeable people in charge. So
right. And passion.
Yeah, you need someone that cares. You just need someone that actually gives a shit, and cannot be talked down from where they're at. Like, oh, we'll do this instead. Like, no. What are you thinking? Like the first person I said, whoever sat there in the desk and said, like, let's put Superman on the back burner. Like, let's.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of here. You can't stay with us. You gotta get the fuck out.
You can't say that and say and be in charge. You're like, something's wrong.
I just see Joel as one of like the board members, just like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you can't do that. Can't do it. You can't sideline Superman. You can't do that. I vote we vote him out now. I don't even think we should wait. Like,
I don't know who this guy thinks he is, but
I don't know what the fuck
you're
thinking. Yeah. Like, Joel's like, fuck the fans. I don't accept it. Like, I don't care if the other people accept. I don't accept it. I'll be damned if I let you do that.
That's what do you think you're doing? Like, that's so stupid.
Like, it's one of the names that you legit can go, all right, this will generate money no matter what. No matter what, this can generate money. Let's go with it.
Yeah, it's just there's so much uproar. You know that it's possible to make. You can make money. You just do it right. You'll make money. Right. Also, the whole thing about like Henry coming back and then canceling everything. I know a lot of people. I know it's everywhere too. Like it got that news rushed everywhere. But that we
immediately taken down.
Good, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I'm like, because when he put it up, I'm like, bro, you didn't read it? Did you read the article? That's not what it said. Because I hate when that happens. They take it out of context and they post it everywhere. I'm like, that's not what was said. What was said was a DC insider, someone if inside, not David himself, said it's a good idea. That's what they should do.
Right.
They should scrap everything that's Superman related and start over. And if it's going to be connected, then to definitely do it with Henry Cavill Superman.
Right.
And that's a good thing. That's still a good thing, even if it's not coming from the head honcho, because that means he's in their ear. That's a thought. That's a thought within DC films. I'm like, okay, well that means it's being talked about. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying that's why it's not a bad thing. At least it was acknowledged that should be an option.
Right. I'm with you there. All right. Disney Plus Day returns September 8th. More great Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel content announcements are expected. I guess I'm really just expecting them to greenlight Moon Knight season 2. Really is the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. Unless they got some Acolyte news, really. There's not much that I'm like yearning for in Star Wars because they pretty much announced it at Celebration. For all the biggest things that I'm like yearning for. So everything else is more so just rehashing that.
Well, they usually give us new shit, so whatever new shit they plan on telling me about, I'm excited for it. Because
I doubt it though, because Celebration was recently.
No, I mean Marvel.
Oh, got you. Yep.
Yeah, Star Wars. I don't see what I don't know what else there is to tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They said everything, so I'm like, I don't really know where else you're going with that. But yeah, for Marvel, the biggest thing for me is I want to hear about Moon Knight season 2. That's what everyone's waiting for. Was that just a one-off, or you doing a movie? Like what's happening with this? But outside of that, what else are you? Oh shoot, that's what I'm looking forward to. Sorry, I completely forgot. Because I've been on like this huge Spider-Man kick lately. I don't know what it is, but I've been on a massive Spider-Man high. So I'm hoping their animated series, we get a trailer for that. Yeah, I think it just finished. It just wrapped.
Yeah. Something happened recently with it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I get the
hopefully next year it comes out. That'd be great if we get Spider-Man freshman year. Yeah, hopefully we get a trailer. That'd be great. Hopefully we get trailers for some of the stuff that's coming out next year, like Secret Invasion.
Shit. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Secret Invasion, by the way, should be given a trailer. That's close to, if not done filming already.
That's been out there filming for a while. So we should have some footage at the very least for that. Echo's been filming too.
Daredevil, Joel. We could get Daredevil.
I thought we got. They're not filming yet, but yeah.
No. I mean like an actual
acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I would love that if they gave me an acknowledgement on like Daredevil, Nova, stuff like that that we've heard rumors about, and make it official. Like that happened last year. Like we heard rumors about Moon Knight, possibly, and She-Hulk and that, and they announced it at the thing. Like, we get title cards. You know, I'll take it.
That's always great. Now, one of the things I really want, because I've heard no movement on it, is Riri. I want to hear more about Ironheart.
I disagree. I think we've heard recently. I think it's supposed to start. It was supposed to start filming after Black Panther, but I don't know. Like we'll hear something soon, because I know there was definitely movement on that. I think it's already in pre-production. And I think they already started like pre-production filming somewhere. Oh, so we should hear something soon. I want to hear more something about Armor Wars. I haven't heard shit about Armor Wars. That's what I'm.
Oh shit, yeah, Armor Wars too. Oh yeah, you know what they should do, Kevin? I know you don't usually do this because this isn't like what you used to do on stage, but fucking have what's his name that played Justin Hammer come out and announce Armor Wars. That would be really fucking dope. Because I want confirmation Justin Hammer's in Armor Wars. Yeah. That's the biggest name you got to check off. If he's not in it, it's like, how do you miss that?
Because what you want is you want updates on the shit you announced last year, and you want new shit. Right. So as of right now, let's see. I think What If Season 2 might actually come out at some point this year.
Season 2 of what?
What If?
Oh yes, no, it does come out this year. I think it'll be quarter 4.
We'll see when then. Holiday special for Guardians should be at the end of the year.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, the Halloween special. Not probably it's around Halloween, I'm assuming.
It should fucking be, yeah.
You got let's see. You have Secret Invasion, like I was talking about. You got Echo that's filming right now. I'm just talking about Disney Plus stuff. So
right. I know.
I'm gonna skip Blade because that's a movie, and I think D23 is this year too. So if we get any Blade news, it'll probably be there. Then I would say probably something on Armor Wars. Hopefully something on, if they have anything on whatever that Wakanda show is, I'll take it. But who knows? Because it might come. This is pre Black Panther 2, so they might wait. Right. I would say Loki season 2. I heard is filming already.
It is.
All right. Well, there's that, and then you have I hope something on the Agatha show would be great.
Yeah.
Obviously the Spider-Man show, like you were saying, the Marvel Zombies, anything. But that's animated too. And then you have X-Men 97, which is supposed to come out next year. So hopefully we get
forward progression on that.
If we get anything on X-Men 97, I'll be fucking excited.
Fuck it, come out on stage and just play the theme song. Like have somebody come out with a guitar and just fucking play the theme.
Yeah, just give me the that's all I needed. Wonder what that looks like.
They're like, yeah.
What's the animation gonna be? I'm so excited. Is there going to be something 10 Rings related on Disney Plus, Nova, Daredevil? You know, we've heard a lot of different things, so we'll see.
Yep. And I would like some confirmation on Hawkeye. Where they're going with that. Is Kate Bishop getting to her, like, is the show, is it being passed to her? So now season 2, it's now about the new Hawkeye and in the adventures she goes on. Or is that just a one-off just to introduce the character and we'll see her pop up literally anywhere else, you know? So yeah, just like you said, just more so confirmation on things we already know. And if you want to surprise us with some shit we never heard of,
that's what we want. Yeah, that's the stuff we're there for, is the stuff in here.
Yeah,
like,
by all means. Tell
like
us all the stuff we already know, and then when it looks like the investors day or whatever it is over, Feige goes, oh wait, I got one more thing, Doctor Doom series. And it's like, oh yes, okay, good night. Like, yes, I'll take it. No arguments here. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Now I didn't want to do this because I have no interest in doing this. I don't think we need to talk about Gotham Knights at all, right?
We can talk about it. I'm not gonna be nice though.
I plan on completely pulling my pants down and shitting on it. So your version's usually always nicer than mine. So by all means, go ahead and start us off, Joel. We got our first trailer for Gotham Knights.
Let me say, it wasn't looking good just by the poster.
Oh God, Jesus
Christ. That poster was very underwhelming. Oh, Jesus Christ. And look, I'm someone that when I heard about it the first time, just on name alone, you get excited. You're like, oh, that sounds cool. What the fuck? Because your first thought is the game. And thank God even the game is disgusting. You're like, we have nothing to do with that show. I don't know what that is. It's not us. So the fact that you got the game to come out and have to say, like, look, we have nothing to do with that show. Please do not associate us with whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be, bro. I don't like it because it looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. And I like, even on paper, this how did someone greenlight that? How did someone sit there, read that, and go, I like it? What? And what?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would be more so with you if it wasn't for the fact that they did a table read where they said, and then Bruce Wayne tries to kill himself. And somebody in that writer's room said, gold. Act. So if they're willing to do that stupid ass shit, nothing of this Gotham Knight show is shocking to me. They just don't respect Batman. He is one of their biggest money makers. And for the last few years, Joel, they have been trying their best to shit on Batman as much as possible. Yeah. I don't get it.
No need for that.
People. I don't get it. I don't know what that action figure mask was that you were showing off. I don't know why you took the fucking batarangs from the Batman and Robin fucking movies. I don't know why he was in fucking jeans or sweatpants.
Why was that movie? I mean, why is that show on such a budget? Like, who is Turner Hayes? What do you mean his son? What is this adopted son, Turner? What the fuck is he having parties at the fucking mansion?
So much of that was just like... I guess they're trying to tell us Alfred's dead. I guess that's a fun narrative too.
Alfred's probably been dead. Yeah, I wouldn't. If I'm Alfred, I'm happy I'm dead. What the fuck is this?
I mean, at this point, yeah. Don't put me in any of this shit.
Bruce Wayne is dead and apparently killed by one of these rookie ass kids. That's embarrassing in its own right. You telling me one of these fucking losers actually killed Batman? That's
it better be a swerve. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. It better be a fucking swerve.
I've been saying the swerve has to be that it was Turner Hayes. it was the adopted son. Like, that should be the swerve. He should be the killer because he is nobody. And at the end of the day, you make him somebody. And he was Inside Man. Man, this little evil little kid.
Yeah,
you know, that would make him.
I can see that.
You know, because he's nobody. He really is nobody. It's like they made him up for the show. So that means you want elasticity. Which is stupid in the fact that you have now no connection to that main character already. You're like, now, because you're upset because you know there are other characters that should be there. And you're like, who is that? Right. I remember someone asking me in the comments, like, is that Damian? I'm like, I wish it was Damian.
That would even make more sense. Even though I don't need Damian it would at least make more sense.
I don't either, but that's the first thing I thought when we first read the synopsis. Like they said adopted son. I'm like, but that could have been they're all his adopted sons.
Right.
But I just assumed it might be Damien, his actual son. Right. But like, no, obviously, it doesn't even look like Damien. And it's like, why? I don't understand it. It's just so stupid. Like, and I'm intrigued by the characters they have chosen. But I don't like it does not look good. It doesn't look like it's being executed right. And I don't like Carrie Kelly, but I was intrigued by seeing what they would do with Carrie Kelly. What the fuck was that? Like, what was she wearing? What was that? Is that supposed to be a Robin costume? Because it didn't look like one. So bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. I'm gonna watch it just to see if they can redeem themselves in any way, like, because I doubt it's gonna be good. So this is how bad is it? Like, because it's been a while now. Like the trailer was shit. Like, I feel bad for those kids because there's not one good thing that came out of that. There's not one place has said good things about that.
And
trailer.
look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It has nothing to do with my love for Batman, for why I think this is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever laid my eyes on. It's just one of the worst pieces of shit I've laid my eyes on. It's that simple. Like, I don't have to spruce it up, adding in, oh, I love Batman. No, I don't got to spruce it up. They could have said this had nothing to do with Batman whatsoever, and there's still nothing about this premise
that even more is you canceled 2 shows already. Like in Batwoman and Legends, right. They were rocky to begin with. And you gave us even something worse? What are you, mad? Like, at least Batwoman was competent compared to this fucking show. Like, this
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything was comparable to that to this fucking shit. Like, think of the worst thing we've ever seen on CW, and I take that over this shit right now.
That's the thing. It doesn't make CW look good. And you're like, oh,
it doesn't. And look, they're trying to sell themselves, and it's like, if I'm a buyer, I'm looking at this like, you better cancel that shit.
The first thing I said after I finished watching that show, look at that show to David.
He's gonna walk in and go, wait a minute, hold on. Why? That's my only question. Why is any of this happening? Like, is Batman alive? It's about who killed him. All right, okay. All right, I accept it. All right, so who you trying to put it on? Jason, Damian? There's no Jason or Damian. All right, you doing something with Nightwing? There's no Nightwing. What the fuck are we doing? Who's the main character? A made-up guy? What? He has like 6 kids. Why are you making up people? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. The man has an endless amount of children, and you're like, I'm gonna make up someone.
Why are we naming the show after? Like, there's a game with the same name. They don't even have the. Why are we naming it? Why would we do that to ourselves?
Yes, we don't need people thinking this is a tie-in show. No, we're trying to make money on that game. What are you doing?
Yeah,
don't fuck up the game money. Somewhere, Warner Brothers Montreal is just like, hey, change it. We worked hard. Change this shit. All right,
like, bro, we really got enough negativity from people bitching about just a bitch.
Flip this shit, man. All right, you stole our whole formula. We killed Bruce Wayne. All right, come on now. I don't need you.
We got the right people to take over, not
right. Yeah, we got his actual children that took over.
Exactly.
Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought?
All right. So last little bit of news before we get out of here. They did release the trailer for Kanan season 2.
They did.
It returns in August. Yep, they dropped it. It returns in August. Hold on.
Excited for that. I'm excited.
It looks really good. His mother looks a lot more vicious than ever before. She's ruling with an iron. Is it thumb or fist? Fist. I thought it was fist. Yeah. You stick out like a sore thumb. That's what I'm thinking.
There you go.
There we go. It's all right. You know, I'm stupid. It's cool. I like it. But yeah, so that's coming out in August. So that means it'll end around late September, if not early October, which means it'll lead right into Ghost book. Ghost book 2. No, Power Book 2 Ghost.
Ghost book 2.
Yeah, look, man, it's one of those days. So it'll lead right into that. So that's really interesting. And then I assume around the same time this year, that Tommy came out, it'll come out next year. So around February, March, it'll come out next year. So we'll get a continuous of these power shows before 50 Cent tells him to go suck a fat one and leave Stars. So, you know, look, hey, he's unhappy. Shit, it worked for Shonda Rhimes. She left ABC and then dropped Bridgerton, and that shit's a hit. So fuck it, why not? If you're 50 and you believe you are the talent behind those shows, fuck it, take it somewhere else, make it a new one. So I'm very excited to see where they go from there. But I just tagged you in some of the set photo stuff for Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I saw. I was this guy. That's Carapax. I like it.
Oh, before we go, I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts on this latest episode of Young Justice?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's been a solid season all the way around, and they gave us fucking what's her name with the green eye. I'm like, oh fuck, they connect everything. I love that show.
Do you think Connor's gonna actually do it?
Emerald Empress. That's what. I don't know. We'll see. I do look forward to seeing how it ends because I'm sad that it ends. Because now we gotta wait forever for it to come back. Fuck if it comes back because they have to greenlight it still. I think they will. I hope they do because it's so good. It's too good to not be.
It's weird to know that it was enough fan base to bring it back, but not enough to keep it. Like that'd be the weirdest fucking transition ever. Like the fans were enough to bring it back, but then motherfuckers just like, nah, I didn't really catch it, didn't really watch it. What the fuck? You fought so hard to get it back. Yeah. Why wouldn't you watch it weekly to keep it? So I think it'll get rid of it.
It's a great show. It deserves to be returned, and look, it's been great. I love the whole dynamic this year, like the different arcs. I love that too. That was really cool. So yeah, hopefully it ends on a like a oh shit, that's awesome, because they usually do. So I look forward to seeing how it ends, and hopefully it gets picked up because it deserves it.
Fucking does. Fucking A, Joel. And also I want to give an honorable mention out to Mayans. This season is shaping up to be better than any season of Sons of Anarchy, and Joel knows that if I'm saying that, it's really fucking good. I swear by fucking Sons of Anarchy.
That's
fucking
good.
Watch that shit on repeat constantly. Fucking love Jax. But I love what they're doing with Mayans, man. It's all out war. It's beautiful. It's
crazy
storytelling. They are nailing the fuck out of that show. Good job. Good job.
So insane. Yeah, fucking good show. I look forward to seeing how that goes. It's fucking crazy.
100%. And I can't wait to see some sons pop up. See some noticeable sons pop up. Word. I'm really sad because I feel like the guy that plays Chibs might be filming Tommy. Because like in all the promo, I'm not going to tell you who they showed of the actual team in case you want to be surprised. But I never saw Chibs. And that doesn't mean he's not in it. I'm just saying they've referenced him in the trailer
I've heard them reference him, yeah.
Yeah, the trailer that they showed for the rest of the season, they did show a big member of that Sons of Anarchy team. It just wasn't Chibs. So I'm very curious as to
wasn't Chibs in charge?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm really confused why I didn't see Chibs there.
We're so detached from from the Sons that I'm like, wow, it's like they seem so foreign. And it's because there's different people and they're in a different part of the state. But it's still like the Sons don't feel like the Sons I remember. And it's because it's been so long, one.
Yep.
And now you're so attached to the Mayans, you're like, I never thought I'd feel that.
100%. I will say, if there's one bad critique I could give to Mayans is one thing I loved about Sons of Anarchy was they were going around just shooting people in broad daylight, but they always had to face the music of the police force. It was never just like, yeah, you could just kill whoever you want. It's whatever. I watched the Mayans run into a hospital full of fucking people and unload guns, and I have yet to see any fucking police force show up. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't. But I'm very surprised that they didn't in the very next episode. Just to question people. Maybe not even to arrest, but just to question. No cops at all?
There's no way there's no cops that should eventually start snooping around. Especially
that's what I'm saying.
That's why he killed her, though. He's like, I'm one of the cops. I'm like,
but here's the funny thing.
I gotta shoot you.
Here's the funny thing, though, Joel. In that one scene where he grabs her and they were leaving out, Everybody in that room saw their face. Their faces weren't covered.
But they don't know them.
No, they don't know them, but they could what do you call the people? The sketch artists. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. But she knew them.
Yeah, she knew exactly who they were.
There's no need to sketch it. I know exactly who they are.
I know where they are, where they live.
Parents.
Yeah, I know everything. But yeah, that was one thing I loved about Sons of Anarchy was it was always the impediment of, oh shit, now here comes the cops, especially when that black cop showed up, where he was just like a complete thorn in Jax's side. But it was realistic. It was like, well, there's no way they're doing all this middle of the day killing and there's no cops that ever show up.
Word.
Mayans has not had a cop issue, I believe, since like season 1 or 2 with the FBI or the CIA guy or whatever he is.
They still have that one. They got those the private detectives looking into that one murder.
Oh right, yeah, but that's more so for that specific character that had to be longly investigated, and that murder happened seasons ago.
Yeah.
So
that was by accident.
I'm like, they finally getting around to that. I'm like, they've killed so many more people since then. Where are the cops? So yeah, I'm with you there. So I'm just hoping to see some kind of police involvement soon, just so it just balances itself out. Because to me, you can't be outlaws without a law. Like, well, there is no law. You're not an outlaw. There's no law. Everybody can just run the street and just shoot people. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But all right, Joel, that's all we got.
Wow.
That's all we got.
I want to say Thursday, Summer Game Fest. That should be really good. We had the PlayStation State of Play last week, which was pretty good. So
I don't like that I didn't get a longer Spider-Man trailer. The fuck are they waiting for?
Well, we didn't. It was just the same Spider-Man trailer. It wasn't even anything new.
I want some new shit. I don't even have a PlayStation, but I told you I'd buy one for that fucking game. I'm telling you right now, I'm buying a PlayStation.
There's two, and you haven't bought one yet.
There's two what?
It's 2 Spider-Man games.
Oh, no, that's fine. I want for this new one. I'm buying it. I'm buying it for this new one. I'm buying it for this new one and for Wolverine. I'm buying a PlayStation.
That's gonna be it for Wolverine.
100%.
It's in like one of the 2 games that stood out to me. I know a lot of people were really big on Resident Evil, but never really got into Resident Evil. I liked it, but it wasn't my thing. So, but I like seeing Part 4 being remade is really cool and all that extra shit. But I'm more excited about, Street Fighter 6. I might actually get a fucking Street Fighter game. It's been years since I bought one. This new one looks really good. And Final Fantasy 16 looks fucking amazing. I'm like, I cannot wait. That game looks so good. So good. Oh man. So I can't wait to see more shit this Thursday. Should be more stuff to look at. And yeah, I don't know when we're doing a game show, but I might be there for those.
If there's big announcements, we'll do one Thursday. That's no problem. We'll do one Thursday. Not a problem at all. Just let me know, because I have a tough time keeping up with everything. So right now my focus is Patriots off season. I mean, not off season. Patriots had vamping up into preseason. So my focus is fully that, and then Knicks off season is right around the fucking corner.
Yeah, I'm worried about the Knicks too.
So
that's all. It's still too early to be worried. For me at least. Football, basketball. Basketball soon, but football I still got August for training camp. That's when I'll be more paying attention, because I want to see the lineups, stuff like that. OTAs is still, it's like everyone's like competing to get a spot. Well,
yeah, that's usually what's very important to me, because Bill will cut a starter. You know what I'm saying? Like usually for any other team, it's like, oh, okay, they cut the rookie or the walk on. Bill will fuck around and go, yeah. You know how you like Mac Jones? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this new kid that I drafted. It's like, what the what? Like, huh? Why are you doing this to me? So for me, everything that the Patriots do is something I have to pay attention to, because Bill will pull that bullshit out of nowhere and it'll just catch you off guard. Last year, I heard nothing but great things about Mac Jones, but was shocked as shit when they were like, yeah, no, Cam Newton got cut. Got cut? How fucking good do they think this rookie is? Turned out to be really fucking good. So, worked out. But all right, so make sure, guys, this Wednesday we'll be going live at 7 or 7:30 to break down the first episode of Miss Marvel And then at 8:30, we'll be going live to break down episode 4 of Kenobi. So Wednesdays will be double features until Kenobi's over, and then it'll just be Miss Marvel going forward. So stay tuned for that. We can't wait. But tomorrow will be GVN Sports. We got some basketball news to talk, some finals. We got some fun football topics to talk about. So that'll be fun also. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But till next time, guys. Peace. Did you flip me off?
No,
oh, because you got the backdrop. It cut off.
Yeah, cut it off. It cut off.
I was about to say, damn,
Like,
had a great show, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you." I'm like, okay, all right, but all right, guys, peace.